disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, finally I'm back. Welcome everybody to the Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your good friend Mr. BDA. Glad everybody could be on board. And alongside with me as always, my co-host, the one, the only King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Fellas, thank you for joining us. This is another Anything Goes Friday. I will be putting up the number up on the screen right there. There it goes. There we go. Phone lines are operational as far as yep, they are operational. Might be dropping a StreamYard link as well so people can drop by. We will be rotating the StreamYard as well. If you're outside of North America, you can call in there. But before we get down to the fun, let's get the business out of the way. If you want to donate, you want to keep the gravy train rolling, you can certainly do so via the Super Chat feature during the show, or you can go to the PayPal page or Patreon page and donate there. But of course, the most important thing is that you continue to hit the like button. That's the most important thing. And that you continue to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And just spread the BDA gospel. That's about it. So shout out to everybody in the chat room. Talking about Jim McDonald, Renegade Sensei, Triple JJJ, Julio Martinez, Mr. Doc. Shout out to Mr. Doc, Mr. E. I got a lot of misters. Official Scorecard Boxing. Check out his breakdowns of Chocolatito versus Estrada, what he's been doing over his channel. Very insightful. Hopefully it helps me make a pick. SSB 28, Christopher Roman, some Thai girl, which I think it's probably like an Indian guy or something. Marcy D, Connor Kelly, Alvarez 28, Vince Vegas, Elvis ECL, and many more to come. Oh, GB Guthrie as well. Shout out to you fellas. Thank you for joining us. Fellas, well, let's get right into it. Bucho, before we get started, talk about some of the news that are going on in boxing right now. The main one, shout out to Crazy K, by the way, as well. The main thing that seems to be going on right now is Eddie Hearn says the Fury-Joshua fight is almost finalized. Bob Arum said so as well. He's talking about Vegas or something. Hearn, though, is saying that that's not going to be a possibility. And what do you think? I mean, if they come in with the Arab money, the Arab money, who's going to be able to beat him in terms of a purse bid?
I don't know, man, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes, but I don't mind if the fight takes place in the Middle East. But listen, for me, it's better because the main event. I remember when Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz. The main event was around like 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, that's good for me, man. I don't want to stay up late, getting old. So that's great. No, but seriously speaking, I don't really give a shit. Just make this fight happen. I know Stu, a long time ago said like this fight, Joshua against Fury, needs to happen in the UK because it's two big UK fighters, and I understand that. But if you can get the fight there, then I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to make it in the Middle East.
Well, that's the thing, though, because I mean, I don't know who it was that said. Oh yeah, Eddie Hearn said, "Oh yeah, Bob Arum's talking about doing it for the fans. This is a big fight for the fans." He says, "But Bob Arum doesn't care about the UK fans," and can't seem to. I think both guys, as long as they bring the money, if it's in Arabia, if it's in Vietnam, it's in the fucking Congo. If they pay them enough, they will go there. They don't care about who can go or who can't. You know what I mean? So yeah, they don't care.
We're gonna lose money, but because we want to make this fight in the UK. Nah, man, they're gonna go where the money's at. And if it's in Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates, whatever, we're gonna make it over there.
Yeah, they're talking about Dubai. It's strong possibility that that's where it's gonna be. But let's get into where the actual fight might take place, whether they're actually going to sign him. Because look, everybody loves Tyson Fury, but let's face the facts. The guy already, essentially rocketeered himself out of a mega fight with Klitschko in the rematch. He bailed out of that one. He had his mental issues, his drug issues. Who's to say he might not relapse? I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a possibility.
No.
And then
it's always going to be a possibility at this point. I mean, it's always going to be a possibility. Well, I mean, listen, we can talk about this for days. Whether or not he's going to relapse, we don't fucking know. So far, he hasn't, and it's been a year since he beat Wilder. So we're going to have to assume that he's not going to go into. He's not going to lose his mind again. Let's put it that way.
Right, but that's the thing, though. It's a bit of a long shot that he relapses. Again, I'm just saying you never know. But the thing that does strike me with a little bit of concern, some of the things that John Fury, which is Tyson Fury's father, after the Wilder fight, the rematch, he said, I'd rather my son retire. I don't know, it's because he seems to think that he knows his son better than anybody else, probably. Right, Bucho? So what do you think that means? Why does he think? Because he indicated, well, he's already done everything. And I'm thinking, well, he hasn't been Joshua. What do you think is going on here? Gypsy mind games? Or
that, I don't know, man. I think because his father, Fury's father, did say that. Right after Fury beat Wilder, he said, I think if my son should retire. It's like, I don't think he should fight Joshua. Not because he cannot beat Joshua, just because he said it was not necessary.
Right.
Because according to Fury's father, just beating Wilder was enough to prove that Fury is the best in the heavyweight division. Which to me was a weird comment because, come on, everybody knows that to be called the best heavyweight right now, you need to beat Joshua as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe his father, at that time I was thinking maybe his father knows something that we don't. He maybe knows that Tyson Fury isn't 100% all there mentally, and that a mental breakdown was going to happen sooner rather than later. And so he wanted to just retire after beating Wilder and walk into the sunset.
It would make sense that there's some shenanigans ongoing because, look, there were rumors that Tyson Fury was seen at the beach. I think he posted the pictures himself on Instagram. I don't know if the paparazzi took him, but he was in shirtless, and they're saying, "Oh, he looks fat. He looks fat." I'm thinking, when doesn't he look fat? Even when he's in shape, he looks fat. So I didn't put too much stock into that. But then when his father said that, and you also remember it's his father that said that his son had to take it to Wilder in order to beat him. So he was correct on that. He saw through that. He seems to know his son pretty good. So if he says, "Look, my son shouldn't fight after this because he's not going to be motivated afterwards," I hope he's not planting a seed. Maybe it's reverse psychology. Maybe he's telling his son, hey, listen, I don't think you can do it. Prove me wrong. And then Tyson Fury goes in there and goes, I'm going to prove you wrong, Dad. And I don't know if that could happen, but it's the fight most people are waiting for. I'll tell you this, though, Bucho. Bit of a controversial point here. Whether the fight happens or not, of course, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed because people are going to start saying, there we go, boxing again. And once again, they missed the mega fight. But I don't think it's going to be that much of an entertaining fight. I think it's going to be boring. I think it's going to be, come on, when have you seen two giants getting it on and making an entertaining fight? It doesn't happen all the time. It's very rare.
It might be boring. But as a boxing fan, you want to see this fight because it has to happen. It's the two best heavyweights, and they have to get it on. We can talk about how the fight's going to play out. I think that's a different topic. Because I just wanted to finish with the whole Fury, his father thing. Am I breaking up?
You sound fantastic, man.
Okay, then wait, hold on. I keep talking.
All right. In regards to the John Fury, because Bucho wants to talk about that. John Fury, like I said, he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. So I'm trying to look at this from all angles. Why is he trying to get his son to retire already? 32, he said. He's got a family. He's already reached the top. Which, by the way, like we were saying, beating Wilder is not exactly the top. I mean, he beat a power puncher, and most of us expected that he was going to get exposed at one. That he's not him as a fighter, but that his flaws were going to get exposed. So it's not like he beat the best guy. Yes, highly dangerous, but it's not exactly. Anthony Joshua presents other problems. Which of you want to take it away? You tell me when, man.
Yeah, Fury's father is smart. He knows that AJ is a completely different beast than Deontay Wilder. AJ, I mean, sure, he might look robotic sometimes. He might be this, he might be that. I think Fury's a better boxer. Okay, I grant you all of that, but still, you gotta not admit, but I mean, in my opinion, AJ's much better than Deontay Wilder. And I always pick Joshua to beat Deontay Wilder. I'll say it was close fight. Maybe if he lands that right hand, but I always say like AJ has. A lot of people were saying, no, AJ has no chance against Wilder. I would say AJ has a good chance, man. And AJ, again, against even Tyson Fury, I'm telling you, people are gonna think I'm crazy, but you don't count out Anthony Joshua.
That's
don't
right.
Do it. This guy's he's dangerous, man.
Yeah, I still would favor Fury. Obviously, I think it would be a sort of a higher level of it's a high level version of Joyce versus Dubois. I was gonna say Joy again, Joyce. I don't know why the fuck I keep saying that. I think I'm dyslexic.
By the way, AJ has looked like shit in some of his fights against Joseph Parker, even that Camp fight. But he's also looked pretty good. Like against Povetkin, for example. I know Povetkin is old, but look what Povetkin just did against Dylan White. You know, Povetkin was still dangerous.
And he won the first 4 rounds so easy against Joshua.
That's how good of a boxer he is. But Joshua is very dangerous. I mean, you can be fighting a perfect fight. This is what we used to say against with Wilder. Remember? Oh, he's losing these rounds, but boom, the right hand bailed him out. The thing is with Joshua. He hits hard with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
He has a nice uppercut, left hook. You know, he can knock you out with a straight right. He's much more dangerous than what people think. And forget about that Wilder fight. Fury Joshua is a completely different fight. And Fury's going to have to change his game as well. He can't just go in there and walk this guy down. So
absolutely,
it's an interesting fight.
Absolutely.
I will have Gonzalo, by the way.
But real quick, before we get to Gonzalo, because we had somebody waiting on the phones here. Real quick, Gonzalo. Let's go to 470. You're on the air. 470. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? Fury Joshua. It's very interesting that y'all saw that YouTube clip. Y'all. I gotta give y'all props. You guys pay very close attention, to the sport. I saw that John Fury interview where he said that Tyson, his son should retire. I called him before, and I've given my views on the fight. I see it kind of as a rock paper scissors in the heavyweight division with Fury, Joshua, and Wilder. I think Fury beats Wilder. Wilder beats Joshua, and Joshua beats Fury. I think that prior to Andy Ruiz, I would have had no hesitation about picking Joshua to knock out Fury. Now it's kind of 50-50, but Joshua looked vulnerable. He just looks he looks timid in the ring. He looked that way against Pulev, so I kind of slightly favor Fury, maybe 51-49. But AJ's a better athlete. He's got skills too. So, it's a dangerous fight. But John Fury, I think he wanted his son to retire because there's no higher peak he could have reached. He came back from drugs, depression, being 400 pounds. He came back. He lost all the weight. He almost got killed by Deontay Wilder in the first fight, even though in my opinion, he won on points. But he was almost knocked out. He came back, beat the guy in America. I mean, there's no higher. All he can do is go down. It really. So I think his dad was just saying, "Look, son, I'm proud of you. You've done enough. Really, you can't go any higher than this. You've rehabilitated your image. You've cleaned all that up. All those, all the comments he made that put him in a bad light. You became heavyweight champ. You beat Deontay Wilder. There's just there's no higher plateau you can reach. So, in my opinion, that's why his dad. And I think his dad knows Joshua's a tough fight. But really, in his mind, Deontay Wilder was seen as the biggest, baddest heavyweight in the world. You know what I'm saying? You could even flip it and say, you could somewhat argue that what Joshua was scared of him. And Tyson Fury came back from depression, overweight, obesity, cocaine issues, and beat him. So
true.
I think his dad is just looking out for him and look, you've pretty much done everything that needs to be done. You can only go down.
Well, how can you do it if you don't have all the titles, all the belts? How can you be considered the best heavyweight if Joshua is still there with 3 belts?
Because Joshua lost to Ruiz, right?
Yeah, but then he got his revenge.
What was that?
He got his revenge, like he avenged that loss.
He did, but he just lost. But he was knocked off the purgement. He was knocked off that number 1 slot that everybody had him in. Once he lost to Ruiz, he was just, and especially in America. In America, Joshua was seen as a kind of a joke. So okay, he came back and won. He ran around the ring for 12 rounds, won a decision. But in most people's minds, Fury and Wilder became the number 1 and number 2 heavyweight in the world after AJ lost to Ruiz. Now Joshua came back. He's real. He beat Pulev. He beat Ruiz. He's back, and Wilder lost. But at that time, it was Joshua. It was Wilder and Fury.
Well, you know what? Let's get Gonzalo in here. Gonzalo, what do you think? Because we're talking about AJ Fury, the potential matchup. That both promoters, Arum and Eddie Hearn, are saying it's close. But then you got John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, saying and he said this a long time ago as well, that he wants Fury to retire now because he's already reached the top and he can't go anywhere else afterwards. What do you think? Is there a certain amount of truth to that? It is his father after all.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure with Mr. Fury, the father, what the deal is with him. He might not have all his marbles together. I don't know. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right?
That's right.
Tyson Fury exhibits a little bit of issues with mental instability. I don't know, depression. He might even be. What is it when you're one day you're mad, but then the other day you're happy? What is that called? When you got to take that medicine, what is it? I forgot.
Fuck.
I can't remember. The lithium. Yeah, I forgot. But anyways, no, I like Joshua as a boxer. He's pretty smooth. Butcher was saying, a lot of times he can be perceived as being robotic, but he's also pretty smooth when he sits down on his legs and he unleashes those combinations. You correct me if I'm wrong. He can throw 3-punch combinations at times, right? Not just the 1 and 2. So he's pretty smooth when he unleashes that 2-fisted assault. He's an intelligent fighter. He's an intelligent boxer. And I'm not just saying that because he was an Olympic gold medalist, but just the caliber of opposition that he's faced. And even the fighter in Pulev that he beat, I liked how he did it, how he got the job done. Remember when Klitschko fought Pulev? Well, take a look at what Joshua is doing. I think that Pulev, still dangerous guy. Maybe he didn't throw a lot of punches. But anyways, that's the heavyweight division. One punch can change everything. And he's dealing with these guys in a fashion that is not just about tying up. Yeah, sure, he got on the back foot against Ruiz in the second fight, but he took the fight immediately. He did what a champion is supposed to do. So, he wasn't scared. And I think he's a combination of a puncher, but also a boxer. But anyways, can he mix those two things and present something very dangerous for the pure boxer and Fury? Because he's also a giant, and we saw that he can also punch. So it's an interesting matchup. It's a 50-50 fight, man.
Well, let me
You just mentioned all of these things just quickly, and that's what Joshua is. He's a dangerous boxer, and he has a decent resume. So many people came and say that he has a better resume than Fury. So for John Fury to say that, Fury has accomplished enough by just beating Wilder and before that Klitschko, I don't know, man. I just don't believe he's sincere in what he said. There's something else going on.
He's not. He's not speaking.
Is Tyson caller? Do you think Tyson Fury is a Hall of Famer? Yeah. If he would retire right now, would he go into the Hall of Fame?
He is. Yeah. I first of all, I'm not saying I agree with John Fury. I'm just trying to go inside his mind and why he's saying what he's saying. In my view, they're very concerned about the Anthony Joshua fight, and so it's kind of like if you rob a bank and you're successful, do you really need to prove that you can do it again, or you just take your money and go live happily ever after? Mm-hmm. That's the way.
Right, but like, something about a champion. Sorry to cut you off, but you're a champion. It's not only, they always say that most difficult part of being a champion is staying a champion, right? Keeping that belt. He hasn't even done that yet, right. Tyson Fury. So go ahead.
But remember, this is his dad. He's not talking about this from like a boxing analyst perspective. It's his dad looking out for his son. So his dad is like, yo, you achieved this, you accomplished all this, you came back, you beat Deontay Wilder. Yo, son, let's get out. That's how his dad is. His dad is just looking out for him. The fans want to see Undisputed. I think Tyson Fury wants to do Undisputed also, but I think his dad is like,
Let's not forget also his father. Let's not forget his father was also a professional boxer, so he knows the toll that it takes on the body and the mind to continue to, what you said, Bucho, that whole thing of being an all-time great and making defenses and fighting the best, that takes its toll, that takes dedication, and maybe he knows that Fury. I think he said so himself that Fury is the type of guy that once he gets something, he wants to go even higher. Like that whole thing of staying there and defending it 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, it's not for him. I think he might know. I don't know. Look, listen, we're trying to analyze this from all perspectives, but at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see whether they actually sign the contracts and whether they actually get in that ring. So, caller, we're going to have to move on, but thank you for the call. You made us think about this because, again, I'm not sure one way or the other, but all I can do is hope that the fight happens. So, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Thank you for calling in and take it easy out there. All right, man?
All right, take care.
Take care. Let's go to another phone call, fellas. 207. 207. You're on the air. 207. What's on your mind?
Hey, thanks for having me. Much respect. What's on my mind is we have a great opportunity to be seeing a whole shitload of undisputed champions. I mean, this Taylor Ramirez fight, possibly Fury, Joshua. I think boxing is alive and as good as it's been in a long, long time. We're dealing with a pandemic, and we still had some great fights. In this Chocolatito Estrada fight, how come we can't be talking about this freaking war? You're talking about a guaranteed adrenaline rush that's going to be more thrilling than any hit song or any touchdown or any slam dunk or any home run or any, soccer head with a header like a Pele's bicycle kick. There's nothing more adrenaline rush than Chocolatito Estrada. This is good shit, fella. Taylor Ramirez, let's see Joshua Fury. Let's make the heavyweight. This is the Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson. This is the king of rock and roll. We need to make it happen, and you can't get in the mind of a gypsy of the Fury dad. And the beautiful thing of it is that the dad's in the corner, the dad's in Haney's corner, the dad's in Errol Spencer's corner, the dad's in Teal's corner, the dad's in Garcia's corner. It's a beautiful thing when you have that dad connection. We go on and on about this fight game, but thanks a lot for this channel, and thanks a lot for pushing the greatest fucking sport on earth. And thanks a lot, much respect, but I can't wait to see Fury Joshua Ramirez Taylor. You know, this is good shit, Chocolito Estrada. Even though Chocolito Estrada ain't undisputed, this is still, I am so excited. I'm losing sleep already. I'm like, waiting for Santa Claus to come down the fucking chimney, fellas. This is good shit. Boxing is alive and well. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it positive. Let's rock and roll. Let's see some knockouts. Let's go, fellas.
I like the energy. By the way, is this Matt
I
Chad?
like it. Amen.
By the way, is this Matt Chad on the phone? Matt Chad? Oh, I think he hung up. Yeah, he hung up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
apparently that's Matt Chad.
All right. Yeah, he hung up. All right, shout out to Matt Chad. He got me hyped up, man. He had me pumped up. He sounds like Slugger Sam, though. That's the thing that worries me. But anyway, I don't think they're not. They got different phones. By the way, people were saying that the term that you guys wanted to talk about was bipolar or manic depressive. So it was one of those.
Bipolar. BDA, that's Slugger Sam's father. That's like Tyson Fury. That's his dad, Big John Fury.
Hey, listen, the Chocolatito Estrada fight, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Might be the best matchup of the year, man. Even better than Tyson Fury, Joshua, because everybody's talking about that. But like I said, heavyweights, they do not tend to make for, these big-ass heavyweights don't tend to make for the best or most interesting fights, rather. By the way, I'm putting the StreamYard link in there. In case anybody wants to jump on, that's especially if you're from outside of North America. If you're not, it'd be better if you call, but it's easier too. You just gotta call and that's it. With StreamYard, if you don't have a link, if you don't have an account, you gotta sign up. But anyway, listen, on to the Tyson Fury Joshua thing.
Super chats.
Oh yeah, super chats. Thank you. Real quick, shout out to everybody who just donated the super chat. I'm talking about, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Rodnell. He says his father watched Tyson Fury get beat up by AJ in sparring. That's what it is. Oh, okay. So there might be a bit of a
people are
rumor
saying that in the chat. I don't even, if it's true, I don't even think it's. Anyways.
Well, shout out to Rodnell for that. I'm gonna fact check that on Google. I'm gonna put on my CNN pants and fact check. But I'm gonna do a good job as opposed to CNN. Shout out to Jaguar, who says, saludos desde San Diego. All right, saludos, Jaguar. Thank you for your contribution, man. Really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Really helps us out. Let me check the StreamYard. Nobody's there yet. Let me check the phone lines. We got to keep an eye on these things at all times. All right, so guys, phone lines are open. StreamYard link in the chat there. If you want to drop by and give us your opinion on all these fantastic matchups that are coming up. By the way, the also Tank Davis versus what's his name, Mario Barrios, might not be as easy as people think. Some people are saying it's a trash fight. Mario Barrios can crack, man. Let me tell you, he's got quick hands. So I don't know, it could backfire on them. Maybe they're trying to cash Tank Davis out. But anyway, listen, let's stick to this whole Tyson Fury Joshua thing. Tyson Fury versus Joshua, they're saying it could be in the summer, June, July. What do you guys think? How do you think it goes? Like, Gonzalo, how do you think it goes down, that fight?
Yeah, we're talking about the Chocolatito versus...
No, Joshua Fury.
July, sorry.
Joshua Fury.
Joshua Fury. Wow, interesting matchup. You see...
what the fuck is that, Sam?
Fury can probably punch just as hard as Andy Ruiz. Maybe even harder. You think about that shot that he landed on Deontay Wilder to the top of the head. You know, it's the same shot that Ruiz landed to Joshua, right? But the difference here is that Fury got bigger leverage. He's coming from the top, but he's also equal in height. So I mean, yeah, it's like gonna be the similar punch that he landed against that Ruiz landed on that Ruiz landed on. What's his fucking face, man? I forgot. Sorry.
Joshua, you mean?
On Joshua, yeah. Fury landed that similar punch against Deontay Wilder. Now these two guys are equal in height, and probably Fury hits just as hard is Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz wasn't really known as a power puncher, but you got to think about the mass that this guy's lugging around at 270 pounds. And the guy can definitely hit hard. And we know that Anthony Joshua's been bamboozled with punches before. He doesn't have the strongest chin. Okay, he's got a good chin, but he doesn't have the strongest chin. I believe that Tyson Fury can rattle Anthony Joshua, and he's a good boxer. So he's got to combine throwing his boxing ability with throwing some weight behind those shots, just like he did against Deontay Wilder. Now Joshua, he hits hard. He hits just as hard as Deontay Wilder. Look at the percentage of knockouts, but he can do it with two hands. Okay, and he's a better boxer. So not only is he a better boxer, setting up his combinations, he can find you on either side of the pocket, right? He's a righty. He's not a lefty, but when you hit hard with both hands, you can present a problem from any angle, right? You can even shift into position and transition into throwing power shots with both hands with your jab hand, right? So he can pin the better boxer against the ropes, and get him out of there. He can do the job. Also, it's a good fight, man.
It's gonna be, yeah, man. I mean, it's. I can see it going either way, but I mean, I would favor Fury. But I mean, I think you broke it down quite eloquently there. Now, speaking of eloquence, let me go to the StreamYard here. We got a couple of people here. StreamYard is open, by the way, fellas. We got Mr. Duck, we got Matt Chad, and we got Official Scorecard Boxing. And we got Johnny Boy as well jumping in. Fellas, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Paisan. How you?
What up, fellas?
Hey, Paisan. Mr. BDA, how you doing, sir?
Good. Thank you for being on, everybody. Let me start with Mr. Duck. I think he's the one that dropped in by first. Mr. Duck, we've got a symphony going on here, a potential symphony of violence. You're a musician, you know all about harmonics. Do you think that
dare I say a symphony of destruction?
That's right. That's right. Do you think that the melodies? Do you think the melodies are gonna mesh here and make for an entertaining fight between Fury and Joshua? I mean, historically, big boys don't tend to make for entertaining fights.
You're not wrong. I know
I'm not wrong.
There. You're not wrong. You know what? I think it's the kind of fight, much like the Vlad Fury fight, where regardless of how entertaining it is, it's still going to be significant. If that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
You know, you know what I mean. Regardless, I mean, just in spite of how quote unquote boring that fight was, there was still massive reaction. If you get me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tectonic shift in the heavyweight landscape when Fury beat Vlad.
Yeah,
and whoever wins this fight, I feel, regardless of since we're talking about that in particular, the entertainment value, I think regardless of the entertainment value, it's going to result in whoever wins a tectonic shift in the landscape of the division. Which and I've always said, as the heavyweight division goes, so goes the rest of the sport. A rising tide lifts all ships. That kind of thing.
That's a good point. I mean, for a lot of people, size matters. My girlfriend keeps telling me that doesn't matter, but I think she's just trying to placate me.
She's lying. She's lying. We all know she's lying, BDA. Come on.
That's right. Now,
ask Ryan Garcia if size matters. He likes sausage.
Come on. Now, wait a minute.
Can't do that. I'm taking a drink when you did that, Johnny. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Doc. I apologize.
It burns.
All right, let's get Official Scorecard Boxing on this one. Official, thank you for being on. What do you think, Joshua Fury? Will it be entertaining? Are people making a big fuss about this fight?
Well, you know what? I haven't really thought of how the fight would possibly go. I mean, there's a possibility of them going like kind of toe-to-toe. Kind of both of them are able to fight on the inside, more or less. But also it's a fight that risks to be a stinker. So I really haven't thought about it, but it surely doesn't make my cock as hard as the fight this week.
All right. That's one way of putting it.
That's how we should evaluate fights. Like, is this fight gonna get your cock hard? Like, that's how we should.
Yeah, that's
question.
Official, how do I say get my cock hard in Serbian? I gotta hear it, bro. I gotta hear it.
Well,
Johnny, what are we doing here, Johnny? What
getting a bit weird.
are we doing? No, okay, I got that. Here's the counter argument. All right, I'm not even saying I think this. I'm just, we all seem to be going in the same direction, and that's no fun. Now, we're talking about big guys entertaining fights, right? Does everybody here agree that both these guys can punch?
Yeah.
We all agree they can punch. Okay, well, I got 2 words for you. 4 mile.
Right.
All right. Big guys, too big, but too big, too. No, but I'm just saying that's 2 big motherfuckers that could punch, right?
Yeah.
Not. Hang on, not the technically most brilliant. Although I would argue that maybe a little more boxing savvy than they get credit for, but that's another discussion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But 2 big motherfuckers that could punch, right?
Yeah.
You can make the same argument. Hey, these 2 big clunky guys shouldn't be that entertaining, but one of the most entertaining fights of all time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that would be the first counter.
This
comes to mind if I'm doing
have they
debate here.
sent the contracts or anything, bro?
Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't even signed the contracts yet. I mean, it's we're just
They're
speculating.
gonna sign the contract. There's no other fight. It's gonna happen, guys. We're not gonna talk about that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just. Yeah, I got you. Let me just throw this in there. Let me just throw this in there. Here's the thing, bro. Initially, I was favoring Fury. The playoff, I think, is a little bit more.
Shit. We're cutting off here with the StreamYard. Sorry about that, fellas.
But I actually think out of winning it, because I think mixing it up with AJ might be. Yeah, and don't get another thing. Fury's looking chunky in the recent posts he's having, so he's got to watch don't eat too many calzones there, Fury, and Irish potatoes. It's no good. But so like I said initially, I was saying Fury. I think Fury beat him, but now because of this layoff, he's not keel in my opinion, BDA, and I'll say that.
Right. Yeah. Well, we had a couple of tech issues before for a couple of seconds, but I think most people heard the bulk of what you were saying, that essentially Fury is a little bit on the chunky side right now and might not exactly be ready for the fight. Now, let me get real quick to Mad Chad. Mad, you were pumping us up here with everything that's going on in boxing. You're saying boxing is not dead. In fact, it is alive and brimming with confidence. How about this Fury Joshua fight, though? Is it being overhyped in terms of the action that it can offer?
Well, is John Travolta staying alive overhyped? You know what I mean? It lived up to it. It's going to be a sweet science fight. It's going to be a lot of dancing. They're going to be on their they're not going to phone booth it. It ain't going to be Lyle Foreman, Mr. Doc. Much respect to Mr. Doc and the panel. For Christ's sakes, Mr. Doc, yes, you come in here with some great analogies. With Johnny Boy BDA, official scorecard, you got a great panel here, and much respect to being here. Thank you so much. But I'm excited for the heavyweight fight. Who can't be excited for the heavyweight fight? Like I said, it's the creme of the creme. It's the money. How much money will they make? You know, money talks, bullshit walks. I mean, they'll be paid more money. They'll be surpassing Floyd Mayweather money. And then imagine if it's a draw. What's the second fight? What are they going to get if they dance and they hit each other and a couple bruises and a couple black eyes, and they're dancing and it's a big entertainment thing. You know, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for the world. I just want to see the fight. Like I said, I'm all about the undisputed, because the undisputed settles all arguments. You can't argue no more. He's the fucking undisputed.
and it's a beautiful thing. We might be seeing a few of them. And it's a great thing. BDA, much respect. Thanks for having me, and I'll sit back and listen. Thanks a lot. But I pray to God this fight gets made. I'm thankful for Chocolito Estrada. I'm thankful for Ramirez Taylor. I'm thankful for the fight last night, the Bowerchuck Adams fight. That Adams, what a warrior! He just kept he kept alive. That was a great fight. What a knockout! And that Surhai is going to be back once he learns not to fight with his fucking chin up, like he's a fucking he's in there just trying to walk down the guy. Once he learns how to fight a little bit, he's young. I mean, this boxing game's alive and well. Charles Lolo Harris. We got a bunch of fighters. Stephen Fulton.
Yo, Chad. I think we got 150. I think 154. We're gonna get 154, in my opinion, this year too. Undisputed. I think we'll get Charlo Castano.
Beautiful shit. You're absolutely right, Doc.
And what's with the fucking swearing, man? Come on now.
Right.
Keep the fucking swearing down to a minimum, please. It's a fucking family show.
It's a family show. It's a family show.
And by the way, if I may say so myself,
you got the wrong panel.
I know, man. I know. But listen, the last night's fight between Brandon Adams and that Ukrainian dude, that Ukrainian guy looked like a taller version of Billy Corrigan from the Smashing Pumpkins. It was a little bit bizarre, but it was a good fight nevertheless. Now, if I may,
good guy, PDA, he's got a Twitter account and he pays attention to your tweets. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. And I was rooting for him, but like I said, I always root for the underdog. Adams was a fucking minus 300 underdog. He was plus 300, I think, maybe plus 350, maybe plus 400. If you were in the Ukraine, you probably could have got plus 1,000 rubles. You know what I mean? The kid was the underdog, and he clipped him with a left. Bowerchuck was walking him down. He disrespected his left because he was getting hit with it all fucking fight. And it was a great fight. I would love to see a rematch, and that was a good fight, but I have a lot of respect for Adams. And this fight game is beautiful, fellas. We got a bunch of fights coming up. This is beautiful shit, fellas. Thank you, BDA.
No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, by the way, check that fight out, man. Brandon Adams versus Bohachuk. It's on YouTube, I believe. That's where I saw it. Hopefully, they haven't taken it down yet. If not, you can always find it in other streaming platforms. Let's get to... we see we got Recognize on the Discord. Recognize, are you there? Recognize. No,
he's waited too long.
Yeah, he's probably got a customer bid for his bootleg DVD set of Ingmar Bergman. It's a hot set, man. 6 DVDs and all that. But listen, let's get to so most of you then are looking forward to the Fury Joshua fight, and I would agree with that. I mean, it is like you guys said, for all the marbles. Now, Johnny Boy, I know you've been very critical of this. Why are you critical of the matchup? Johnny Boy? No, I think he's the one that's buying that DVD set from Recognize right now.
Johnny's from Chicago. Johnny's still recovering from that Billy Corrigan shot.
But I've never heard Johnny PDA. I've never heard Johnny critical of that fight. I've never heard him be critical of it at all.
Well, maybe he's not critical of the fight itself, but I think I've heard him on today's stream. He was doing a stream and he was saying that the fight ain't happening, which he sort of intimated before too as well with some of his comments.
Oh, pessimistic view. Maybe a pessimistic view on it, yes. But I think he'd love to see the fight happen. You know what I mean? Like any boxing fan. I mean, you can't be a boxing fan and not want to see an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, which we might get. I mean, who doesn't want to see this fight, fellas? They're going to get paid telephone numbers here. Let's go, fellas. Let's get it on.
All right. By the way, we got Recognize back. Recognize. What do you think, Fury Joshua? They're saying, both promoters are saying it's close to being made. It's close to being made. But then you got Tyson Fury's father saying he doesn't really want his son to fight Joshua, and that if they don't make it now, they're going to move on to something else. What do you think? Business as usual in boxing, or you think the fight actually happens this summer?
Well, I like to say first, shalom. I am here. Yeah, it's going to happen this summer. I think it's happening. And I think AJ's going to win. That's what I think.
Whoa.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Now you're
I'm serious, yeah. Why? AJ could beat him.
I'm surprised because most people are picking Fury. But yeah, go ahead. Break it down for us.
No, I think it's going to happen. The money's there. Bob Aarons made a statement, you know.
No, you made a prediction.
Yeah, now I'm
And we
interested
wanna
more in the
hear-
prediction. Yeah, I'm more interested in the
Yeah,
prediction.
no deviating here. We want to hear you break it down. Break it down.
Well, look, the fight's going to be close. It's going to be a close fight. AJ is not going to get blown out by Fury. And the fight will be close enough where it could go either way. And I can't see them not giving it to AJ. Maybe they call it a draw, split decision, so you can see a rematch. And the money's good, man. The money's going to be on the table. Now, there could be a situation with the crowd, but I think that's not going to, the fight's not going to be, it's not going to happen in the UK, even though both guys are from there. I think it happens in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, something like that.
Yep.
And
yep, I agree.
And I think AJ beats him.
Now,
AJ
do you think
could beat him?
But you're saying legitimately, or you're saying
Oh
shenanigans?
yeah, I think he could beat him legitimately, and it could go either way. AJ's not gonna get blown out. I just don't see it happening. I know Fury, he hypnotized people with his victory over Wilder, and people should be optimistic about it. But I think that when he fights a guy who doesn't suffer from the fundamentals in boxing, I think everything starts evening itself out. AJ's got decent power where he could keep Fury honest and inactive in a lot of rounds.
Wait, hold on. Recognize. Why do you think that Tyson Fury decided to fight Deontay Wilder and not Joshua in his comeback fight?
Because Wilder's easier.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. And he knows that Fury's going to be a little different. I mean, AJ's going to be different.
Now, doesn't AJ's, like, how would you qualify AJ's stamina?
It's not that great. I would say that it's not great, but
is it that concerned?
Okay, listen, but here's the thing: when he's on his game, his stamina kind of empties out a little slower than when he's not, right? So when he's in a tough fight, that's why I say Fury does have a good shot of beating him. I'm not going to be surprised. But this whole thing that Fury's just going to have a field day with him because he did that to Wilder. Come on, man. I think people are they're fooling themselves. They're going to, or if they really believe that,
Deontay Wilder.
Hold on, fellas. Let him finish. Go ahead, Rick.
No, I'm just saying that they're going to be in shock when they see that fight to be way more difficult than they expected. Because he did that to Wilder means nothing versus AJ.
All right.
That's all I mean,
go ahead, Johnny boy.
I concur, bro. I mean, you said go ahead.
Yeah.
You said go ahead.
Yes, Johnny.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a different type of animal, bro. Wilder can't even fucking box, dog. The only thing he can do is punch, bro. AJ's got a good jab. He's powerful in his own right. He's decent at he's got a nice little uppercut and straight right hand, and that's what he dropped fucking Klitschko. Or no, that's what Klitschko dropped him with. Excuse me, but it's just a different type of animal. Like I say, it's a good fight, bro. It is a good fight, regardless of who you're rooting for, who you think's gonna win, or any of that shit. And like I say, because of not to keep repeating myself, but because of the layoff and because Fury doesn't look like he's in the best of shape right now, to me, that makes it more of a 50-50 because before I was thinking Fury was going to whip his ass. Now I'm like, I don't know.
All right.
Mr. To me, Fury is the if we're going to talk styles, Fury's the pure boxer, AJ's a boxer puncher, Wilder is a pure puncher. I've always kind of been, in terms of these YouTube streets, right? When it comes to Wilder, I've always felt kind of caught in the middle because I've always felt like I've seen Wilder for what he is. I've always said, I want to make sure nobody gets this out of context. Relative to his peers, okay? Mm-hmm. Relative to his peers, Wilder is this generation's Ernie Shavers, and there's no shame in that. What's the shame in that? Right? The hardest punching heavyweight right now. He's got in terms of that step in right hand. Nothing. You know what I mean? There's nobody hits harder than that, in my opinion. But he cannot box like AJ. AJ is a completely. I agree with what the other two gentlemen said, Johnny and the other guy. AJ is a different animal from Wilder.
Hey, Mr. Doc, you know what you should do, man? You mentioned the YouTube streets. I know you're a musician. You should do an 80s style album called These YouTube Streets. Walking the YouTube streets at night or something like that. Do it literally fucking... I know you like Van Halen pre-Sammy Hagar. Go ahead and do that, man.
He had to get the Sammy Hagar dig in. I knew it.
No, I'm just saying. Come on.
You got to use the beat from Walking in Memphis. Walking in YouTube, walking in YouTube, walking in YouTube.
Back on these YouTube streets again. That's right, bitch.
Oh, hold on. Matt Chad wants to say something. Matt Chad, go ahead.
Hey, BDA, I'm on these YouTube streets and all, you know what I mean? I'm learning things every day, which I'm thankful for, and I'm thankful for this stream. And the more I know about Doc, the more I really love him more and more. You say he's a musician. Doc, what instrument do you play? Are you a songwriter? And who are you, a Mount Rushmore of musician?
Oh God! You know, no, I don't. If BDA wants to let us go down that rabbit hole,
not now. Yeah, not now, Mr. Matt Chad, not now.
No, not now. No, but
let me just I'll try to sum it up in like 15 seconds, then BDA. Okay.
Don't say the Russ. Oh shit.
What the hell's going on?
Now, if you play that backwards, he's telling you to kill your parents and worship Satan.
That's Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads, man. Randy Rhoads. Put some respect on Randy Rhoads' name.
I sure will.
Like that guy from Eye of the Tiger, Survivor.
Get that. Don't even bring that into the same discussion as Randy Rhoads. You stop that right now.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Well, listen,
that's what we're not going to do right now. Sorry. Does that answer your question, Mr. Matt Chad?
Well, that answers more than my question, and thank you, BDA, for giving him that moment of rock and roll history right there, because that was some Randy Rhoads rock and roll, balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, Marvin Hagler, Hearn shit right there. Yes, Doc, that's some beautiful shit. Like BDA said, you play that backwards, not only do you get Helter Skelter, but you get a fucking G.G. Allen, and you definitely get some G.G. Allen and gag balls involved.
Listen,
thank you.
As long as you don't start flinging shit at the crowd like G.G. Allen, we're gonna be all good here, right,
Absolutely.
man?
Don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
We talk a little G.G. Allen. I saw G.G. one time, and it was the most disruptive thing I probably ever seen in my life. He did shit himself, and he did throw it. I think he ate a piece of shit. It was fucking. It was the most. I swear to God, it was fucking disgusting. Right here in Portland, Maine. 40 seconds. He opened up. He shit himself. It was over. The fucking cops came out the back door. GG went naked right down Congress Street. Yeah, GG Allen and the Murder Junkies. Yeah, right out of New Hampshire. Fucking psychopaths. You want to go psycho gangster shit? If you can't hang around with GG, you can hang around with anybody.
That's a good point, man. I like how all these rappers think they're tough and all that. Watch a GG Allen concert, man. Just one. People are trying to hit him in the dick.
How he died. His last day on Earth, BDA. His last day on Earth is documented right on YouTube. You just type in G.G. Allen. He was in New York City. He just got kicked out everywhere. He shit himself once again. He just ended up overdosing. But yeah.
Hey, by the way,
remember he was going to kill himself on stage, and they arrested him. Remember he announced he was going to commit suicide on stage.
I shit myself at the Wisconsin Dells one time.
Geez, all right. Yeah, you told that story before, man. By the way, we got Jimmy on the Discord. Jimmy, you a G.G. Allen fan or?
What's that? Dude, I was into punk back way before. Like, I was into like the Dead Kennedys, Black Flag. So I was back into like even some stuff earlier than that, fucking MDC. Back when it first started coming big, like it popped off. The punk scene obviously started out in London, and then it came here in the late 70s and early 80s. I kind of got into some of that, but that segued into metal. But yeah, no, he just that gross melt, dude. I don't want to see anybody jerk off on stage and shit on stage and then pick it up and throw it at me.
I was just about to do that though. Fuck. All right, now I got to switch over. No, but hey, Jimmy,
because I probably would have fucking jumped on stage and punched him.
But hold on, Johnny Boy. Hold on, Johnny
Jimmy.
Boy.
Jimmy, I love Dead Kennedys, but I'm not talking about the band.
Oh, okay, come on. Now you know what, man?
Oh, boom! Hey, Johnny, yo, Johnny, hang on.
Jeez Louise.
Johnny. Boom! Headshot.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, if I'd kill him again if I could, BD.
Oh, no, come on. That was
damn.
I mean, right.
Are you tripping, fool?
Who killed the Kennedy? After all, it was you and me.
Nigga, he crazy. Nigga, he crazy.
This is
hey man. Hey, that's Giancarlo Jr. coming back for you. Fuck out of here.
Listen, this is what Open Lines Friday is all about, man. This is what Open Lines Friday is all about. We can't control these people. And by the way, Jimmy, I wanted to ask you, now that you just jumped on, what happened, because I know you were on the Twitter and all that, what happened with, supposedly they said Charlo made an offer to Triple G and the Triple G said no, and then it turned out it was even, I think Mike Coppinger said that it was BS. Well,
Yes, it was actually Mike Coppinger who squashed it, which is kind of, because what happened, well, Cop's got his dick smacked a couple of times by Tom Loeffler because he retweeted one thing and one thing he actually tried to break, and Tom proved him wrong live on Twitter. You know what I mean? And then remember they said, well, DM me next time you get any questions, yada, yada, yada. So I think he owed him one maybe. I don't know, but it was strange that he would have debunked it because what happened just started going ballistic like it always does. You know what I mean? Instead of saying like, you know, what's the theory, what's going on behind the scenes, just let's look at what's going on. The PBC is not matching anybody. Now, I just talked to somebody, dude, and it goes actually deeper. A lot of shit went down behind the scenes with the PBC, Showtime, Steven Espinoza, all that shit. And, he squashed it, which is fucking cool because they don't send contracts to anybody. You know, it's all, everybody's ducking PBC fighters who never send contracts out. Just because somebody mentions somebody's name on Twitter, that's not a fucking, you know, an official call out. Mm-hmm. When you tender an offer to a fighter and they turn it down, that's, you know, when somebody's ducking you.
Yeah, Butcher, what do you think about what
Twitter
Jimmy just said?
Bullshit.
Butcher, you got anything to add to that, man? Because I know you were looking into the two on Twitter, what Jimmy just said.
No, just surprised how some people went along with the rumors. And like somebody on Twitter said, like by the time they found out it was a rumor, the LDBC had already made like 10,000 videos on that. You know, on the fact that supposedly Golovkin was talking Charlo. So, hey, listen, man, that's why you gotta be careful.
Bucho, Bucho, you know who made a good video on that the other day and killed all that bullshit? Montero. Montero made a good video on that. He's like, that's fucking all bullshit. You know.
There you go. I mean, there you go. But it's amazing how
there's no money. I was going to say there's no money for them to make offers to anybody. There's a reason why Ruiz, listen, that fight right there, because of his significance of beating Joshua, his name does carry weight, especially there'll be a lot of Mexican, you know, fans behind him. So that would have been a nice bone to throw Steven Espinoza for. What I was just told this recently. I guess this rift started back when PBC first ran out of money and they didn't sign anybody to take their shows, so they were kind of like dead in the water. And Fox threw them $50 million, you know, in that contract, and Showtime re-upped. Now here's the fucking dilemma. What I heard was no money transpired. Like Showtime didn't pay the PBC. It was just, okay, we're going to continue to let you show your platform. I mean, you're going to use our platform to show your stuff. So I heard again from somebody who's into boxing and shit said that he was pissed. Like, what's that?
So it's like a pay to play kind of thing. I'm just trying to.
Showtime they didn't offer. They just said we're going to continue. You know, we'll just continue to do what we're doing because PBC was going exclusively through them. Fox paid them money. On the other hand, actually put cash up front for product. That's why everything like the real decent pay-per-views have gone to like fucking Fox. But like even Areola would have been a prime example. Even Areola Ruiz, that would have been a decent Saturday night fucking thing. Throw that to Showtime for all. But the reason why they didn't, I guess Heyman was pissed that they never gave money. Heyman wanted cash so he could make fights and whatever. And what's his name was like, nah, you can just have the platform. So what happened when he saw the writing on the wall and Heyman wasn't giving him any fights, That's when, I don't know if you guys saw it, right at the end of 2018. It didn't make much waves, but it was strange. I don't know where Espinoza said, "I'm willing to work with Top Rank in ESPN and use their fighters on Showtime," and it was like a fucking huge thing. And he was saying, basically, but what happened? It was the same time when right after that, fucking dickhead got fired. Not dickhead, but Lou DiBella got fired for opening his mouth. Saying he's willing to, let's cross bridges. But anyways, that was kind of a shot across the brow, letting fucking Al know, like, I'm willing to blah blah blah. So nothing ended up happening, but this is a huge thing. In September of last year is kind of when that's when almost everything went dark in Showtime. Right at the same time, he went and met with Scott Coker of CBS, who owns fucking Showtime. Met with CBS people, and now they're showing exclusively with Showtime. So they're not going to be on anything else. MMA, they're the Bellator. So they're not going to be on Fox. They're not going to be competing. So because of that, Showtime's going to be giving the majority of their combat money, meaning like they're not going to sink a lot of money into fights. And that's one of the reasons I was told Ruiz Areola didn't make it to Showtime, because the money that Ruiz wants, Espinoza was like, no, I'm not paying that. The same kind of thing he did with. So there's a lot of shit going on. But I said that was no small deal that Showtime inked that fucking exclusivity deal with MMA guy there, fucking Coca, because they only have so much money to go around. They're not
Jimmy,
that makes into combat sport.
That makes sense. That makes sense because you were saying months ago, like, oh, PBC, they're essentially they're out of money. Like the Fox pipeline, which is the lifeline, it was all they had. Eventually, they're gonna be in trouble. And now you look at it, it's true. Areola versus Ruiz pay-per-view. Barrios versus Tank Davis. Is that gonna be pay-per-view too?
I actually heard they didn't, and they just announced the fight. They leaked it through. They leaked it through Carpenter, of course, right? Real big surprise. That's who leaked it. But they didn't announce anything yet. Date or location or on what they want. They're kind of reading Twitter. And if anybody goes by Twitter, it's not being received well. The reason being, I think Barrios is a fucking decent fighter. He shows good strength. I watch a few of his fights, but he's completely untested because he's been with the PBC off jump, right? So, of course, no hoper after no hoper. The kid's never fought anybody. So he's never seen any real resistance. Yeah. So he's in the ultimate prospect. So you just don't know. They're probably, obviously, you're banking on he doesn't have a chin.
Johnny boy, before I let you in there, let me just shout out to Jason Bornsky, who just donated with a super chat, and he said, real quick, he says, salute to the panel and to the guy from Maine. I know a Maine accent when I hear it. All right, shout out to Jason Bourne, referring to that. I think he's referring to Matt Chad. I don't know, might be wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matt Chad.
That's right.
But what's it called? To what Jimmy D was just saying. Here's the thing. I've met Barrios, some of his family, some of his cousins and aunties and shit. They're good people. They're good. They're solid motherfuckers. They're nice. There's nice people. And I think it will present an obstacle for Tank because he's a lot bigger than Leo Santa Cruz was. He does have respectable power, not great, but like Jimmy said, he hasn't fought much as shit. And they're trying to make it at a catch weight of fucking 137 or something instead of. Hang on, Doc. Let me finish. They're trying, instead of going up to 140 like a gentleman, he's trying to have him come down to 137 or 138 or some sucker shit like that. And you bet your ass they're going to put that on pay-per-view. You can bet I'll bet anybody here that joint winds up on pay-per-view. Just like that Fugazi garbage trash and Andy Ruiz versus Areola bullshit as well.
Hey, you know what else they're going to do, Johnny?
Last time Areola fought, he announced his retirement. Remember? If I lose, I'm going to retire.
Yeah. But that fake-ass... Speaking of Fugazi, that fake-ass WBA belt that Barrios has got, they're going to try and present that as a, actual 140 championship.
I love
and that's where I kind of veer off the road here because it's like, no, we're not going to have that.
I love the way Doc says Fugazi.
Yeah, some of his fans.
Am I wrong? Do you guys
this will be
think,
three division
do you not think they're
champion.
going to try and present Tank
Oh,
as a
my God.
multi-weight champion at 140? They're gonna try and claim that as a 140 title, are they not?
Two of his belts are going to be
Come
fucking
on.
little kid tables. They're going to be, it's the little kid table. It means
It's
the
the
junior
kiddie
belts.
table.
The slow table, you mean? It's like for the slow people, yeah.
That fucking, big Thanksgiving, right? They have the little kid table. That's where that's the belts that's where they're fighting for. Fight for junior belts, man. This will be his second junior belt.
Here's the thing, and this is not this. There's a difference between a reason and a justification. Okay, this is not a justification, but there's a reason that Al Heyman, and I know Chad and Johnny and probably official have heard me talk about this before, but not everybody has. This is a different, group of people. It's important to know where Al's coming from. Again, this is not a justification, especially not from my perspective as a fan, but it's a reality. You have to remember, Al's perspective on boxing is greatly informed by his experience of watching his brother Bobby Heyman get punched up by Sugar Ray Leonard and basically left in the gutter, bleeding from his ass with no money, no nothing. That was.
I used to think that Bobby. I used to think Al was Bobby Heyman for some reason. I thought he was lying.
No, Bobby is related. That's his brother.
No, I know that. I know.
I agree. I think he hates the sport. I truly believe in my heart he hates the sport.
I'm not. I wouldn't. You know what? I'm not even gonna question. I'm not even gonna question that. I think he sees it as a way to make money, and I'm just saying. I think it's my opinion. I don't have any. I'm not a mind reader, but to me that all tracks with the way that he does business, especially the way he navigates his fighters. Going back to what Johnny Boy said about Barrios having, he hasn't fought anybody. You're right, because Al's coming from a perspective of he don't as much as he can, while still making money, he doesn't want to see more Bobby Heymans. Am I making sense here at all, BDA?
I'm not
asking you to agree. I'm just asking if you understand.
Well, first of all, nobody forces baby.
I don't think he gives a fuck if he makes Bobby Heyman's. I don't think he actually cares about the fighters. I think he has a track record of that.
I'm not asking you to. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just making sure that I'm.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know my opinion on the subject because look what he did to Lyman Brewster. Remember? His eye was fucking. The doctor told him not to fight. He could go blind, and the Heyman hid the paperwork and let him fight.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. That's a fair point.
And that was his first fighter, and he did that right off the rip.
Didn't Bob Arum do the same thing with Margarito and Cotto in the second fight?
Bob, no, guys, come on. We all know Bob Arum got into boxing because he figured out he worked for the government as a lawyer, right, and investigated the Ali Liston rematch, and he discovered in the progress, I can make more money fucking people over in the sport of boxing than I can fucking people over in a court of law. That's who Bob Arum is. That's who he is. So just, know what you're dealing with, people. That's all. Know what you're getting into.
Who are you guys talking about? Tank Davis?
No, Bob Arum.
No, we're talking about Bob Arum.
You were talking about Heyman, and you were talking about Heyman. And you were talking about
I talked about both. I talked about Al and Bob.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me just say this before I forget. Do you guys know how they're going to sell the Ruiz Arreola fight? They're going to be saying, when you get two Mexicans in the ring, you get it.
We all know.
They even say it in their Mexican anthem.
Hang on, the Hispanic boxing audience is the strongest audience. Hang on, it's the strongest boxing.
You hang
audience
on, don't tell me that.
Hang on.
Am I wrong?
You guys gotta understand.
No. I want to know.
You guys gotta understand. Hold on.
Expose my lies.
Not chat. All right, you gotta hang on, Mr. Doc, because that's the thing. Mr. Doc gets a little heated over here. It's only his second time. Well, actually, only the first time.
You better calm him down, PDA.
I'm trying.
Tell him not to talk.
You got a lot of savages on the panel here, BDA. This is kind of your own fault. I'm just saying.
Okay, come on. Now, wait a minute. Now you're going to go after me, the guy trying to defend you? What's the matter with you? No, but seriously, look, listen.
Yeah.
I know you're kidding. Look, listen. I agree with Bucha. They're going to try. Remember when they had Maidana and Mayweather and they go with American anthem, then they go with the Argentinian. Then they added a Mexican one. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? Because they couldn't get a Mexican for that day. So they say, hey, listen, this guy's Latino. Close enough. Let's play the Mexican.
Close enough.
That's the strongest boxing audience in North America. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial or out of line here. Where am I wrong?
Well, you missed one thing. You missed one thing. Hold on, real quick. You missed one thing. Mexicans, we are the strongest and the sexiest.
I left out about that. My bad.
After Italians.
Oh God, here we go. This Irish white boy is going to step back and hit mute while you guys sort that out.
Please do that.
You know, listen. We know that Mexicans and Latinos, Hispanics, we love boxing. We buy a lot of the pay-per-views, but isn't it a bit of an insult to believe that we're just gonna buy whatever they fucking give us?
It is an insult. It is.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Al Heyman is out of touch. Hey, shut up for a second. Let me say this real quick. Al Heyman is out of touch with what's he thinks that you just put any two Mexicans in there and they're gonna buy those fights. $75 pay-per-view fight.
It's like the Adriola, the nightmare. The Adriola, the nightmare. I mean, that's been his career, a nightmare. He actually played a good performance in his last fight against Kaunaki. He threw a lot of punches. He came in shape, but it's a little too late in his career. I mean, he's coming in shape now when he should have done that. I don't know how many years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even 10.
5.
He's been around for a while.
5 or 6 with Taverns.
He's been around for a while, man.
Oh, yeah. Arriola was considered a hot prospect back in 2008, I believe. That's when he started fighting on HBO.
Yeah,
and by the way,
2006, way, long time ago, BDA.
By the way, I like
BDA, can I mention something real quick?
BDA.
Hold on. One at a time. Hold on. But by the way, let Kenshiro speak because he's just got here, hasn't said anything. Go ahead, Kenshiro. Go ahead.
BDA, did you see the post I put on your Twitter account today or yesterday about Clarissa Shields?
Oh, is it the one about how she thinks she's better than Layla Ali or something?
No, she says I can beat 98% of men. I'll send you the link on your Twitter.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. Before we get to that, I want to give a shout out to. No, hold on. Somebody donated and I missed it. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
I got it.
You got it.
1 foot out the door. Thank you for your contribution. He says, "You guys are the voices of reason in communist times."
Oh,
all right. Thank you.
And by the way, and shout out also to Texas Bulldog Boxing, who just donated as well. There we go. And he says, Canelo fighting UK bums, Billy Joe Saunders promo same day. All right. Yeah, there you go. Texas Bulldog Boxing. All right. By the way, listen, we need more people on the StreamYard, but because we don't pay for StreamYard, so we need to rotate here. If anybody can drop off or whatever, that'd be fantastic. I'm not gonna ask.
You might come back later.
You can come back later. Yeah, you can come back later. But we need to repopulate here the StreamYard. But go ahead, Kenshiro. So you said
BDA.
Yes, go ahead, official.
No, I'm gonna drop out. I just want to say something. 2 things. First of all, yeah, Gonzalo was right about Ariola against Kovnatski because looking at that fight, I thought that Ariola was keeping his punches shorter. He was looking sharper in that fight, while Kovnatski was winding up on his punches and getting really countered in the process a lot. So he's spot on. And by the way, shout out to Jimmy. I just wanted to let him know that it was me myself who closed the Twitter. Maybe I'm going to reactivate it soon, but it's off for now.
What's up, buddy? I was just about to say shout out to you too, dude. I haven't talked to you in a while. Good to hear from you, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, don't call him
nice
kid. What's the matter with you,
bro?
What's that, kid? That's a Boston thing, dude. We do that.
No.
I say that to 70-year-old dudes.
All right, shout out.
We used to.
Don't explain yourself to this communist.
Hey, I'm no commie. All right, shout out to official. And by the way, I see I see we got Adam UK trying to join. Okay, there we go. Because your device, Adam, your device wasn't working. How are you, man?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. What's on your mind, man?
I just want to talk about Fury versus AJ.
We're having. Can anybody else hear him, or is it just me who's having?
I think he said Fury versus
You want to
AJ.
talk about Fury AJ. I can
Okay.
hear. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to talk about
Just
Fury
get a little
AJ?
closer to the mic and you'll be good, Adam.
That's right. Go ahead, Adam.
I'll have to drop off.
All right. Yeah, we'll drop off. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, what was I say? I feel
Yeah,
like
so
Fury's still taking.
We can.
Kenshiro, go ahead, Kenshiro. Let's hear Kenshiro.
Yeah, Kenshiro, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, when I saw, I don't know if you saw the link that I sent you on Twitter. I think it was either yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday. And I don't know, man. When I see this woman talk rubbish the way she does, and for some reason it's like nobody is putting her in a place. I'm talking about as a boxer, putting her in a place. You think, you fought bums. Let's be honest. Well, you fought a few half decent women. You got a 20% knockout ratio. Effectively, you're the black male Paulie Malignaggi in terms of knockouts. And then you keep talking about beating men, like 98%. I mean, I reckon Inouye can probably knock her out, even though he's like 40 pounds lighter than her. And I'm thinking, why is the boxing world just allowing her just to talk complete garbage? Because I think she's fighting somebody else for the undisputed. And then she goes, I'm going to be sort of one of the best boxers ever in the world and this and that. And I'm thinking, I mean, she said she can beat Triple G and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, unfortunately, you need a boxer who's got the Chris Brown mentality to knock her out.
Oh man, no!
Wow, that's a mouthful. Isn't it? That's a whole
One of those
lot.
boxes.
That's a whole lot of.
One of
That's
those
a whole lot
boxes.
of territory to cover. Yeah. Go.
One of those boxes should challenge her on that, But then again, it'll be, it would be politically incorrect to do that. That's the world that we live in.
No. You want you want equal rights. You also get equal lefts.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. I would, in a perfect world,
Sorry, go ahead.
In a perfect world, I would love for somebody to tell her, "Shut up, bitch," before I hurt you. In a perfect world.
You guys are
That's the way to do it. Yeah,
I'm not.
Shut up.
I wasn't going to go that far. But let me
hold on. Calm down.
I was raised. Let me. Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead. Finish.
In a perfect world, when a woman is being disrespectful and violent, you tell her, "Calm the fuck down before I smack the shit out of you." That's how you do it. But we don't live in that kind of world anymore.
Let me put the disclaimer up just so people know that is recognized speaking and that he does not speak for the
That's
rest
recognized
of the BDA.
speaking, yes.
That's right.
Hey, BDA, can I say real quick to BDA, your
These
movie,
views,
man,
these
your
views
King
do not
versus
necessarily
King.
reflect the views of BDA. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jimmy. What do you say?
With the way
No, your
Oh,
King.
yeah. Well,
I was gonna say your King versus King, dude. That fucking when you talked about fucking this was brought to you by Wilders or something psychotic. You talked about it's just a bunch of his fucking lines, dude. A bunch of your shit, dude. I can't just tell you enough how great that was. You really fucking nailed that. I want to see that get more views, dude. You did a great job, dude.
Thank you,
I hope everybody out there watched that, and if not, share that shit.
Yeah, don't forget, if you want to have a good time, check out the Wilder Fury documentary that we did. Thank you, Jimmy. Really appreciate that. And by the way, real quick.
Okay. Oh, you got documentaries, BDA?
Absolutely,
I didn't know.
man.
I'm new here, so.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. By the way, we
Very
got.
good documentary. I saw it the other day.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We got Boxing Learner on the StreamYard. Go ahead, Boxing Learner. What's on your mind?
I think I like about Clarissa Shields when she said that she could beat 98% of men. I think a part of that
beats them off. She means she can beat them off.
I think a part of that's like promoting yourself, because I remember when Ryan Garcia was coming up, he was talking like he said he could beat Mike Tyson and all these heavyweights and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's like you have to talk crazy to bring attention to yourself in boxing, because if you just act proper and nice, no one's going to really pay attention to you. So that's why I think you have to say all that stuff.
But then she needs.
I mean, it's a good point. It's a good point because in a clown world, you got to be a clown. You gotta be
Yeah, but it takes away your credibility. Because
Yeah,
if someone after she says that, like after she said that, like I'll never listen to another thing that fucking dingbat says. You know what I mean? Like she's obviously crazy. You know, like so you just don't say certain things, man, because then it just takes what you say, it just demeans what you're saying.
Look, Ann
You know
Wolf.
what I mean?
Ann Wolf was probably the most ruggedest woman boxer I've ever seen. I don't follow woman boxing anymore, but or at least this crop of woman boxing.
Yeah.
But listen, even Ann Wolf would have problems with most men, even the low level men. They would knock her out. And what do you think Ann Wolf would do to Clarissa Shields? Probably still today. What do you think she'll do to her? She'll beat the shit out of her in her prime, for sure.
That's right.
Nothing on her punches, man. They're all arm punches. She squares up and throws like these fucking nutty arm punches. You know what I mean?
She's a dyke. She's a dyke who hates men. That's all it is.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen.
The woman.
Yo, you know what?
Thing is, though, I know somebody said about a few minutes ago that it's a clown, so it's a circus, you got to act like a clown. Look, there's acting like the monkey and there's being the organ grinder. And I'd rather be the organ grinder. You know what I mean?
Ah, jeez, Luis. Hold on a second. Now, hold on. Now, Mr. Duck. Last comment.
Look,
no, go ahead. Last comment.
I want to address this women Ben thing.
Okay, but here's the thing. Last comment from yourself, because we got.
You don't.
Hold on, Kishiro. Last comment from Mr. Duck, because we got. Last comment from you, Mr. Duck, because we gotta keep rotating the StreamYard. We just got Blue Collar Sports, so I am gonna have to ask you if you could jump off, and then you might jump off back on later, right?
Hey, you gotta throw me out. I get it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this. All right, I'm just gonna talk about the way I was raised. I have a little sister, and my dad told her like this. If your big brother goes up to some dude a foot taller, 100 pounds heavier than him, and punches him in the face and then gets his ass kicked, that's on him. The same goes for you. If you go and try and fight some fucking dude that's bigger, stronger, faster than you, and you get your ass whooped, that's on you.
All right, that makes perfect sense, man.
That's that.
That makes perfect sense.
Thank you for the time. Thank you for the Vine. Much appreciation, BDA, and hopefully we'll talk again in the future.
Absolutely, Mr. Duck. Thank you for jumping on, man. Thank you for jumping on. Anything goes Friday.
Peace.
Take it easy, man. Anything goes Friday. Well, now we got Blue Collar Sports TV jumping in, aka Del Boy. But I want to go back to, because it's getting a little crowded here. So I want to get to Boxing Learner. Boxing Learner, what do you think about the counters that were thrown out here? I mean, yeah, she's got the right to say whatever she wants, but does she really need to go that far and say she'll beat up on other professional male fighters?
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that, but like I said before, I think you have to say some outlandish things to get people's attention, because I've seen it. Like, if you just act proper, they'll just call you boring. So I'm like, it's kind of like this thing. And she's not very powerful either. She doesn't have that many knockouts, so not many people are going to flock to her.
So you're justifying the fact that she wants to become famous, and therefore, hey, listen, she's got to say whatever she's got to say. Like, would you? But here's my question: would you put a limit to the tomfoolery that comes out of her mouth?
As long as she doesn't disrespect people's families and stuff like that, then you're good. Don't cross that line. But everything else is pretty good. Like, back in the day, they used to say, "I want to kill people." If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. Remember? Something like that. Mike Tyson. They used to say all types of stuff.
She don't disrespect families. Her brother does that for her.
Oh, now wait a minute. Now see that? Yeah, that's a thing though. Because look, listen, people can act the way they want to act. That's true, as long as they don't break the law. But then I don't exactly get how she's gonna make a lot of money by being the trash talker. She's a woman. It's a little different than male boxing. Usually, the women that make it mainstream.
She's not an exciting fighter.
Well, that's what Boxing Learner said as well. Like, she's not exciting. So he's saying that, well, since she's boring, she's got to spice it up outside the ring. But I think what she's doing is actually, it's not even good trash talking. It's just I think that's truly who she is, because she's being arrogant about it. She's not being funny. She's not being playful with it. She's not being creative, like Conor McGregor was at the beginning before he turned into a complete total fucking douche. And I think that the real him came out as well afterwards. That's my opinion of Clarissa Shields. Bucho, go ahead.
Well, is Clarissa Shields, Mr. BDA, one of those boxers that feels as if the whole of boxing, the system is against her? Like she's fighting against the odds.
I think so,
What do you
because I
think?
was listening to her on NPR. They did a feature on her. You know, they love her. That's the perfect story. A black woman boxer, and they were talking about that, like, oh, she's a black woman in a sport that it's not going to give her her due. And I said, well, she's doing pretty good, considering she's female boxing ain't that hot. So if there really was a system against her, I don't think she'd be fighting on TV at all.
She's at the top. You could see
She's perpetually bitter. She really is a woman. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell she's angry. I mean, she obviously had a horrible childhood. She admits she had a horrible childhood. Thing is, she comes out of the Olympics at 22. So she went from this horrible childhood into the Olympics. So she's never dealt with that shit. So a lot of her emotions, that's why someone like that, I take half of what she says, like, when she's blown off at the mouth. That's just, you know what I mean? She's human at the end of the day, and you speak and you act of your experiences. And I think she's just acting out. That's just my opinion.
Listen, what we need, I don't know if you guys saw that transgender MMA fighter who fought. I think her name was her name was Fallon Fox, and he fractured a woman's skull, and the woman's skull he fractured. She was never told that she was fighting a person who used to be a dude. I don't think Clarissa Shields can even be a transgender, let alone a biological real man with full testosterone. I think she knows that, unfortunately, most boxers do not want to step in the ring with her as a male boxer because your credibility and credentials will go down. If she came across somebody who doesn't give an F and tested her, I guarantee you one thing, they would end her career there and then.
Oh, all right. Well, that's one view right there. Boxing learner, you want to add to that?
Now, I get what you guys are saying, and I kind of agree with that. But I'm not defending her. I'm just saying that that's what I thought. That's what I initially thought. But if she really believes that, then that's crazy.
Right.
I think from my perspective, I think she was just saying that she should get her attention. But if she really believes that, then that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It could be
Triple G.
It could, well, yeah, that I think she actually does believe. I think it gets to their head a little bit, like Ronda Rousey too. Remember when she was saying, "Oh, I can beat man, I can beat Floyd Mayweather." I'm thinking, listen, I know you know judo and all that, but Mayweather's men's strength and his speed will take you out before you can try to armbar him with your fucking vagina. I think Jimmy wants to say something. Jimmy, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say fucking until that boxing video came out. Oh my God! Remember her head on the plane, like turning sideways. It was right after Ring Magazine put her on the cover. Rousey. But goes to show you the mental instability of people who think they're that great when they lose. Remember, she was on fucking Ellen saying, I wanted to die.
Yeah, she wanted to kill
herself
herself
after
after
pain,
one loss.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah, she also had a
You
shitty
see,
childhood. Yeah. Who's talking? Hold on.
I was just gonna say something, BDA, but
Oh yeah, go ahead.
continue.
Go ahead. I didn't know who
I
it
was
was.
just gonna say, a woman is more fragile. She's like a wine glass, actually, if you think about it. And the man is like a mug, like a beer mug. If you collide a beer mug with the wine glass, who do you think's gonna? What do you think is gonna break? The wine glass. That's why the woman is supposed to be coveted and put on like the most nicest place in your house. Treated like that. But they want to get aggressive and they want to fight with the man. You expect to win against a man, you cannot. That's just a fact.
It's very
What would
poetic.
break would be my heart if
Listen,
there's
listen,
actually wine in that glass.
I watch MMA. I watch MMA, and I watch MMA. There's a female fighter. I haven't seen fight in 1 year though. Her name's Gabby Garcia, and she's about 6'4" and 109 kilos, of like 85% muscle. If she said something like, "I could beat a man," you know what you think? That I could possibly believe. But Clarissa Shields at 160, saying she can beat Triple G and stuff like that, you just think, does nobody speak to her and pull her to one side and saying, are you crazy? If you want to do cocaine, at least cut the dosage in half before you start speaking, because you're embarrassing yourself.
That's the problem. Nobody tells her. Nobody's honest with her and say, he would probably put you in the hospital with like brain damage for the rest of your life if you was to fight with him.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You're right. That's somebody needs to say to her. You know what I bet you happens? I bet she spot a couple of dudes, local gym rats, who suck, and she beat them up. And I don't know, but I'll tell you right now, if she fought at middleweight, I would bet my home, my cars, everything, that the 100th ranked male would fucking stove her head in about 2 rounds. It's silly.
Hey, by the way,
For her to even
speaking,
say that.
I seen her fight. I've seen her fight before. There's gyms that I used to go to. We would thrash her. We would have destroyed her. Okay, we weren't pros. We have a lot of us had amateur experience. We would have thrashed her at 18, 17. We would have fucked her up all over the place.
by the way,
There's no way.
This is the one Kenshiro was talking about. This is not the guy, by the way. This is an actual woman, 6 feet something. He said, 200 pounds. That I actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys thought that was Fallon Fox, but no, that is a woman.
It's a man, baby.
No, that's a woman, man. Apparently, according to the birth
Looks
report
like a man.
there. I know, man. I mean, that's wow. Now, okay,
How much? This girls that there's girls that get that tall. I mean, there's a woman basketball player who's I think she's about 6'8". So it's possible.
Chocolatito Gonzalez would beat up Clarissa Shields. No joke, man.
It wouldn't be
Chocolate-
surprised.
He would. Of course he would. He would fucking
punch it to the
destroy her.
stomach. Yeah. Just punch it to the stomach.
Hey, by the way,
You
let me
would
get
hit her the fucking first punch. She would just not expect to be hit that hard.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
I think so, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men, we have these fast twitch muscles. Some men have it more than others, right? So that is why sometimes you'll see another man get blown out by somebody else. A lot plays into it. So can you imagine hitting a girl that's about 160 pounds or 100, whatever her weight is, and you're a man equal in weight to her? You can knock out another man who weighs 200 pounds at 160, right? You think you can't knock out a fucking girl who is kind of confused about who she is as a person?
Well, I don't
feels like
punch. I don't punch women. Recognize, that I respect all.
No, I'm
women.
just saying. Let's say if you had to, let's say Triple G said, okay, they're gonna make these women fight me, right? So she's gonna take my belt. She's gonna take my ranking. I've been told, go all in on her. Like it's okay. Society is okay with it. He would kill her. He would kill her. I mean, let's not fuck out of here, man. Stick to women, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck about women boxing anyway. It's a shitty idea. Well, go ahead.
Kids would be crying watching TV with flashbacks of their dad beating their mother.
Oh, come on. Now, no, go ahead.
Terrible.
Kenshiro, help me out.
Seriously, dude, it'd be abuse.
Hold on. Let me get to Kenshiro, and then I want to get to Del Boy. Kenshiro, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean that's why when you saw Ronda Rousey, she believed her own hype. She thinks she can beat all these men, and unfortunately, there were people believing it, saying, "Oh yeah, she can beat men of her equal weight and this and that." And she got sparked out by a boxer / kickboxer, and her world fell apart. And then obviously, Amanda Nunes sparked her out afterwards. And I thought you said you can like tap out Cain Velasquez, and sometimes you need somebody to pop that balloon to bring the rest of the reality back, rest of the world back to reality as well. Because if we let people like her ramble on, people are going to start believing the stupid hype, and you know what I mean? Somebody's going to get killed out there.
Let me tell you something right now, man. I find it highly disturbing the way you fellas are talking about it. I think I sense a lot of anger towards women here. Del Boy, I know you're a stand-up. I know you're a gentleman. Del Boy, help me out here with these beasts. Come on.
Well, Clarissa Shields, yeah, she's a fucking entitled cunt as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't even know where to start with her, man. Honestly, where do you even start? I mean,
is that the respect?
She's this fucking cunt who always says, "Oh," she's always saying, "Oh, female boxing's on a par with male boxing. We don't need them." Blah blah blah. Yet every other fucking interview, she's bringing up Golovkin. I can beat this guy. I can beat that guy. Bloody bloody blah. Listen, man, she's done fucking far too well out of boxing. The fact she'd made like a couple $100,000 multiple fights in a row now. That's far too fucking much. She should be lucky to get a fucking Subway sandwich and a coffee. She fucking sucks. She sells no tickets. That's why she got booted from Showtime and she's on some bum pay-per-view app. She's fucking terrible. Simple as that. She's garbage, man. Doesn't sell any tickets. She's lucky to be where she is. And she's only where she is because of a fucking pathetic society we live in today. Simple as that. She sucks.
Oh, all right. Well,
and
that's
fuck anyone who supports
Didn't
her
she
as
get
well.
cut from HBO first?
All right. Well, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. But before we get to that, we got somebody else.
Oh, no, she was HBO's on the screen.
Somebody else just jumped in here on the StreamYard. Off the Canvas Boxing YouTube. Off the Canvas. What you want to add to this conversation?
Big up you guys as well, BDA Boxing. But I forgot to, I didn't hear the question you asked, but I'm hearing the discussion with regards to whether it's boxing in general. And it's, a lot of people have raised a lot of good points. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a tough thing because I think with certain women, they have a bit of testosterone within them. So although technically they are, I think you guys might have seen it with that runner, that Olympic athlete, where people in the UK will argue whether she should be as part of the Olympics. And I'm not gonna lie, like the way she her physique was sort of male like. So yeah,
Yeah, but she's not asking to compete against other men though, is she? Because she knows her place.
That's true as well. It's a very, do you know what it is? It's fair because I see it as in my opinion, if you have someone like, I don't know, a freak of nature as a man, such as, I don't know, a Deontay Wilder, who's got unlimited power and is an absolute freak of nature with regards to his explosiveness and his athleticism. If there is a woman out there with that same level of, or not exact same, but with, naturally gifted, explosive power, or having sort of male-like features, I still feel that that person should be competing in with other females as well. Although it would be very unfair to the other females. You know what I mean? If somebody with Deontay Wilder power, he just equalizes somebody with one punch. That's the game. That's the game of boxing. It is what it is. On paper, that's this woman.
But if you got a Amir Khan chin, then you still got problems.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That is so true. But yeah, with regards to sparring,
Listen,
like,
you could train up. You could
happens,
train a woman up.
It happens in the UK quite a bit.
You could train a woman up. You could train a woman up and train a man up to be at a certain level of boxing or any other sport. The man's gonna beat her. He's just built different. We can't buy into this fantasy world that the mainstream media is trying to create, that the woman is just as powerful as a man.
There's no gender.
It's just not true. Oh, there's no gender. No, there is genders, and men are built differently. We're just built. We have, we have faster twitch muscles. Our heads, our cranium is different. It's built different.
The biggest thing, our bone density. We have
bone
denser
density.
bone.
We have
So
a lot of things that.
Yes, our muscles.
So you could take a guy who just works out and hits the heavy bag and has been in a lot of fights and put him in a fucking fight with Clarissa Shields, who trains all day. Don't be surprised he fucking kills her with one punch. If he lands one punch on her, she's going to sleep.
The army. I was watching this in the army, and women in the army, they really they can take the training and everything, because then the placenta, whatever, they can't have children after doing that hard training or something.
Jeez, Louise.
How many female Navy SEALs are there?
Hey, but hold on. Let me ask you this, Bucho. If that girl is already pregnant and you make her work out a lot, is that gonna end it all, or I'm just asking for a friend?
Okay, well, I'm not talking about she being. Come
on, no, actually, working out. Why a girl goes she stops getting her period. If a girl gets her body fat down, usually below 6%, they stop getting their period. So that could happen. That's the reason why they can't get pregnant. I don't understand unless it's stress related, what would cause excessive working out. I think that might be an excuse to using, because listen, how many times, I think they haven't even let it try, because there's other programs that aren't even as strict in the as the Navy SEALs, and there's the reason why there's never been a woman who's made it through the program. They can't. They physically can't do it.
What about G.I. Jane?
Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
She was she was taking on the fucking recruits 3 at a time, though.
That's
so
right.
Like she was
Never Hollywood at its best.
So
Go ahead.
If you guys think about it, if a newbie came out and said, "I can beat Tyson Fury," we would say, "What the fuck? Get the hell out of it!" You know what I mean? Tyson Fury would fucking spark you out. Eat you like sushi type thing. So with Clarissa Shields saying she can beat a 160 man, that's pretty much that. To me is even worse.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
she can't. I don't think it's possible that she could beat a 160 man in boxing. That's active in boxing at 160 pounds.
I don't think she can even beat a new. I reckon a new is probably too powerful for her, and he's 118. And I don't understand why.
Bernard Hopkins is
I'm not
almost
sure
60
about
years
that.
old, right?
Yeah.
How old is Bernard Hopkins? Almost 60?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bernard Hopkins would still beat her up.
I agree, man.
He's about
Hey, I
55.
got
I
it
think
right
he's
here.
about 55. Yeah, Hopkins will school her.
He's a great boxer. Hold on, we know he's a great boxer, but boxing is not his thing anymore. He doesn't do it for a living. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure,
He's in the game. He would still go in and beat her up.
I agree, man.
I got a
agree.
video right here.
By the way,
Shakur
before.
Stevens already beat up a woman. He proved that it can't.
Oh, jeez, Luis.
Hey,
Right.
since it's anything goes Friday, can we get off on Clarissa Shields now? No,
Yeah, we'll get off.
That's the first time I've ever said change the subject. I just don't dig her at all.
Listen, we'll get off her
Yeah.
dick. We'll get off her dick.
Let's move
But
on,
before I just want to say something real quick. Shout out to Pete who just donated with a super chat. Now for some reason, hold on. Okay, there it is. Shout out to Pete who said she was a pioneer, high altitude training, one of the local soccer jogging around the lake and named the town Big Bear. Oh, Pete, man, come on now with that type of burn. But I gotta read that comment. Jeez, Luis, Pete's a funny guy.
That's
He's a funny guy.
historical.
Hey, by the
That's
way,
been happening for decades.
right now on the StreamYard, there's only 6 spots available. So if anybody can drop off later on, so we can rotate new people, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's go to the StreamYard and let somebody what do you guys want to talk about? Well, Jed just dropped by. Jed, what do you want to? What's on your mind, man? You want to keep talking about Fury Joshua? You got anything to say about Tank Davis? What do we got?
Nah, fuck Fury Wilder. I don't want to talk about that. Who's Tank Davis fighting? This Barrios? Is he moving up to 140? Is that? I've heard something about. Is that correct?
Yes. He's gonna be taking on Mario Barrios, who had a good fight against Eastern European dude on the undercard. Yeah.
BDA.
Nah, I don't like that fight. Tank needs to fight some of these other 135 or 130 pounders like Valdez, Garcia. Tank's wasting too much of his career. I mean, the Pedraza win was a great win 4 or 5 years ago, but he needs to start because these young fighters are passing him by. They're getting bigger fights and better accomplishments. So Tank Davis needs to get some of these big fights with the top 130 or 35 pounders as soon as possible.
So you guys are...
I'll jump on so somebody else can jump on, yeah?
All right, Kenshiro, thank you for being on, man. Appreciate it.
No, see you guys.
Peace, bro.
Thank you, Kenshiro. Yeah. By the way, please, guys, mute your mics if you're not gonna speak right away, because otherwise we hear background noise. So what was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, about the Mario Barrios. So you guys aren't gonna give him credit for moving up to 140? I mean, he's not fighting a bum or anything.
Well, because I'm hearing the same thing. That he's going to try to make the kid fight at 137. And listen, that kid's struggling to make 140. So if they bring him down to 137, that's a strategic move to weight train him. You know what I mean? The same thing that happened with Pedraza, but that's Pedraza's own fault. But yeah, no, listen, I because he's not tested. Listen, he's going to come in as the favorite. So the smaller dude coming up 10 pounds is going to be the favorite. What does that tell you? Because the other dude is completely... I mean, he won that WBA junior little kids table belt offer? Fucking that kid Cowboy Kyle, a redhead from Texas. I swear to God, when people fight him, they yell... Before the start of each round, they yell, pull. It's such target practice.
Jeez, Luis. All right. Wow. Putting the guy down. All right. No, but hey, listen, that's a decent point. I mean, you're saying he's not that great. I mean, that can happen. By the way, let's go to somebody else just dropped by on the StreamYard, the Logical Man. The Logical Man, what's your view on Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios?
Well, I'm kind of got in a little bit late, but what up with you, man, BDA? Man, I've been watching that second Renaissance, and I love the channel and everything. I just want to get on the moron that said something about Clarissa Shields. I mean, I'm hopping in a little late. I'm sorry about, going off topic right now. I just want to hop on, but it took the time for me to get in here. To the fool that said that Clarissa Shields doesn't sell any tickets and no one watches her, Case the moron doesn't know every time she had a fight on Showtime, she did over $250,000, and she sold over 3.5K tickets her last show. So what is he even talking about?
Why is she not on Showtime now?
Because she's doing a pay-per-view. She wanted to prove that she want to earn more.
Okay, so the numbers are going to go great, yeah?
I don't know. We have to see.
Are they going to go great? I'm asking you the question. What do you think? Are they going to go great?
Going to do great. But if she's talking about that she's better than a man and she can whoop men, I don't agree with that. That's stupidity. I actually bought the pay-per-view because I'm actually a boxing fan and I support her because guess what? It's not a snooze fest when I'm watching her. I'm not going off my emotions all day. I'm telling the truth about how she is as a fighter. I don't care about what she's saying outside the ring. What is she doing in the ring? Is she interesting to me? Is she exciting? Yes, she is. But if she's talking about beating man and Golovkin, I think she's just doing it to get more eyes on her, man. Let's be real, y'all.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's doing the same thing Rousey did, and it's working because it's getting people talking. You know, people are falling into it. They're taking the bait. You know.
But what she doesn't understand when she's doing this feminist bullshit, it actually enables her to not get more people to watch like us because men don't want to hear you complaining all day about man and equal opportunity. Bitch, you one of the highest paid female boxers there is. Katie Taylor just got paid $1 million purse because of Eddie Hearn. I mean, what's the proof about Katie Taylor selling out everything? Has she ever when she being a number one person on the main card, has she ever did as many views as Clarissa Shields? No. Look it up yourself. You guys can go look it yourself and see. I'm being dead
Logic,
honest,
man.
bro. I'm being real with you. Why keep
Logic,
acting like
man. I'm
we keep
not
talking
gonna
about,
lie.
oh my God, Marshall's calling her out. Clarissa Shields is ducking. What has she? You make fun about other boxers, talking like, Charlo. What has he done? He hasn't fought nobody. What has Marshall done? Not a damn thing. She hasn't fought nobody, and she's calling out the main person to get her biggest payday and some belts. How about she beat some champions? Cruz is out there. Hannah Gabriel out there. Hammer's out there. How about you fight those girls before she want to step up? How about you guys criticize that? That's just the truth. I'm done right there. I want to say about that, man.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone here really cares about female boxing.
kitchen and
Really, they
start cooking
criticise the
some
other
food?
fighters. I think
It's
that's
the
what it is.
same thing Plant's doing right now. It's the same thing with Plant saying, I want to fight Canelo. It's the same thing as
Real
that woman
talk,
who I
man.
don't
Think
even know,
about
but
it.
it's the
Why do you
same
think she's calling
philosophy.
out
Just
Canelo?
win a
Because
belt, don't do anything, and then call out the biggest payday. And then people say, oh,
exactly.
he's ducking Plant. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's not
Tell you
ducking
one
Plant.
thing, I'd rather watch Shields fight than Plant's last fight. I can tell you that. Clarissa Shields
I'd
is
rather watch
more
paint
exciting than
dry than
Plant's
watch
last fight.
than watch fucking Clarissa
boring.
Shields fight.
For sure.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather watch someone watch paint dry than watch Plant's last fight. That's how bad that was.
100%. But I give you guys a coming from
Dude,
because
he's a
I
fucking,
understand from that, man. If she's
he's a
talking that
back foot
bullshit, I don't like it.
boogeyman. Kid
But
don't like
what the
getting
topic
hit.
you guys want to get on? I'll definitely add on my 2 cents.
Well, listen, let's get away from the sensation, the national sensation that is Clarissa Shields, and move on to Tank Davis's Mario Barrios because that Barrios dude,
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
telling you,
I'd rather talk about real boxers than like
people are
fucking-
giving Tank Davis shit.
No,
People are
come on,
giving
man.
Tank
Talking about
Davis.
Butterbean.
Ah, jeez.
Bucho, what's that guy's resume?
26 and 0. I think 26 and 0. Listen, he has power. The kid can crack. He's not a fucking bad kid. He's not. He's actually does some things nice in there, and I really think he could give. If he comes in and they don't drain him, he could spark Tank out. I think it's by far going to be his biggest test on his chin. This kid, I mean, he's Mexican, so you always got to give him the benefit of the doubt of having heart and a chin, but we don't know because he's not tested. BDA, you were just about to say something on him?
I was going to say, well, first of all, let me read a super chat real quick here. Shout out to Jaguar, and he says, Saludos from Hong Kong. Oh, shit. Hold on, let me find that again. Butcher, do you got it? Because I can't read it anymore.
Yeah, he's a salute from Hong Kong Gentleman Club in Tijuana.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true,
I
Gonzalo.
used to go there a lot.
And
Yeah.
how's the merchandise over there?
They sling outside the club. The cartel be throwing little bags of drugs out there selling to the people.
I'm talking about the flesh
And,
product. Talking about the flesh.
Oh no, there's a lot.
Hey,
There's
by
a
the way,
lot
I
of
know.
a lot of women, man.
Okay.
Did he say go clubbing in Tijuana?
A lot of women and drugs. Sounds
That's
like a
in
great
the
place.
Redland
That sounds
district.
like my type of.
I was going to say, fuck. I'm
in
going
the
to go to
chat-
Baghdad this weekend.
I know we're gonna supposedly we're gonna stop talking about Clarissa Shields, but John Doe in the chat keeps asking who wins, Jake Paul or Clarissa Shields.
Jake
I
Paul.
mean,
Come on,
Jake
man.
Paul.
Nah.
Jake Paul's gonna beat her ass, man.
No. I'm going to be a bit
Yeah, he's a
controversial
man.
here. I think Clarissa would probably have
No
him because
way.
over a 10-round
get
period,
out of here.
slipping shots and just jabbing and keeping on the jab. I think that she can have it. Guys, just because she's female does not mean that she could not crack and hurt a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Let me ask this.
what
Let me
I'm
ask
not
off the
thinking about.
canvas. Off the canvas. Let's make this personal. Do you think you could beat Clarissa Shields?
No.
Did you say no?
No.
Did you? Oh, come on,
Bro,
man.
you can't admit that, lad. You can't say that, even if you think it. You can't say it.
No, I can't.
But listen, off the canvas, Jake Paul has been training. Like he's been training with real trainers and stuff, and he does have fundamentals. But the thing is, you can try to keep somebody off. A jab keeps somebody off. Is there's actually something behind it? The thing is, that woman doesn't hurt women. You know what I mean? Because she powder puffs, pop, pop, pop. She throws everything squared off. She's not going to be able to, like Jake Paul would. It'd be like light sparring. He'll just walk right through it and just crack her.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just be getting hit by a man. You
Jimmy's
know?
got a solid point on this one. She doesn't even knock out her own weight class, her own constituents,
Gender.
for lack of a better term. Well, I was
she
leaving
never knocked nobody out,
that
so it
G
had
word
TKO.
that's so forbidden in today's society out of it. She's not knocking out her own class that she's fighting. So what makes you think she's going to knock out a man?
And if you think she's really
Jake
skilled,
Paul-
she's leagues above. It's not like the men where you have a lot of competition. She's leagues above the fighters that she's facing, and she can knock them out. If you put a guy that can punch, but he's really skillful, he will knock out another guy just because he's that much better. But she's not even doing that to women that can fight.
And Gonzalo, you know how many fucking middleweight professional boxers there are right now on the planet? 63. 63 registered middleweight female boxers right now. Somebody sent me that the other day, the listing of it. It was like but yeah, there's like nobody really in that sport for females. That's why it's so, although it could be getting better now, but I hear a lot of the women complaining that they're not getting the money
Yeah, I
they
know. Too
want.
much. They're going to become like
Yeah,
the
the
WNBA.
competition's
They
not
keep
high.
complaining. They got to stop complaining. They're going to end up like the WNBA, and people are not going to watch and hear you complaining all the fucking day.
No, they'll take it to the Supreme Court and make it to where it has to be equal gender and pay.
Oh,
That's so stupid.
That's not how sports works. It's equal. It's the equal eyeballs. If you're not bringing the same, like if you're not bringing the people, the reason
Yeah, I
why
was about to
Canelo
say
makes
that,
that money and people make that money because they bring the eyes to the sport. They sell millions of pay-per-views. Not like if
People
she
don't
try to
like to
hold a
go off reality
pay-per-view.
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
People, no, you have, we all know this, that the other side of the sport that we love is also the business of what sells. But when people try to play the card of it's not fair because I should be equal to everyone else, they look at everything except for what they produce. They look at everything except for the fact that they can't sell out 50,000 seat stadiums. They can't sell 500,000 pay-per-views. They can't, in the realms of acting. What was it? A Wrinkle in Time, like bombed at the theater, but it was all because men didn't like it. Then they play the victim card. Put the proof in the pudding. Put the proof in the pudding and sell. That's your job. Go do it.
A big problem with women's boxing is that even before the fight starts, if you lose the idea, if you have the idea that these women can't hurt each other, that there's not going to be like a spectacular knockout. I'm not saying that they can't. You just lose interest pre watching the fight. You see, you're not going to have the interest in it.
Precisely, yeah. That's the casual fact.
Most of the times they put her in with people that couldn't fight at all. And they didn't stand a chance, and she knocked them out of the ring, and it was exciting. But the quality of opposition she was fighting was abysmal. She was the skilled fighter, and the other person didn't know what they were doing. They were there for a payday. But she was exciting. Now, Clarissa Shields is, at least the pedigree, is supposed to be a lot better than Christy Martin ever was. 2-time Olympic medalist. But she can't knock out anybody. The thrill of boxing is the anticipate of defeat in dramatic fashion. Going the distance doesn't do that every time.
Yeah. Do you reckon she'll beat Savannah Marshall?
You guys remember though, when Walter was knocking people out, people bitched and moaned about him not being able to box and have skills. It's always some kind of stuff, Mayweather, he has no power, he's boring, he's running. Then Walter comes knocking motherfuckers out. Oh man, he can't box. He ain't nothing.
Yeah, but Carla, that wasn't always Mayweather. Listen, Mayweather in his early days, dude, was a power puncher. He stopped people. He stopped good people. So he made his bones. He didn't start that pitter patter shit until he was later on. So he did make his bones as somebody knock people out.
Yeah.
And by the way,
and Mayweather went up in weight. He wasn't going to be able to knock out bigger fighters than him, so he had to box a bit.
This is my opinion about
Boy was fucking people up.
my opinion about Wilder, and maybe this is the opinion that other people share. it was kind of interesting to see Wilder knock out all these opponents at the beginning of his career, but then it got pretty boring because he wasn't really knocking out uh, good boxers. They were tomato cans for the most part, and so people just got bored of fucking Wilder. That's the truth. And by the way, yeah, he did get his opponents out of there, just like Klitschko did. But in that process of knocking his opponents out, there was nothing that was going on. It was boring as fucking hell, man. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, he wasn't Mike Tyson. Let's just get that straight, man. Wilder wasn't Mike
I gotta
Tyson.
give the Ortiz one fight, some applause. Man. I gotta give him something on that at least, because that was pretty interesting, man. How he was actually getting his ass hit and getting whooped, and I was like, oh man, he about to get whooped, and came back, started fighting. I mean, it was a pretty good fight, man. I enjoyed that one.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what?
also good fight. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, this brings up
And
the
Wilder
interesting.
didn't do himself any favors saying 4 times publicly, and not just saying it in passing, like really pushing the point. No, I'm serious. I want to kill somebody. That was a bad look, man.
Yeah, he wanted to have a body in a bag before he was done.
Yeah, I
Was
didn't like
where
that.
was a
I didn't like
paraphrase.
that. Yeah.
You should have heard the other. Listen, go to fucking Mayweather's channel and see what the guys at Mayweather's gym said about him after he made those comments. Those motherfuckers lit him up.
Hey, you know who actually sided with the guy? That's what I was thinking about. Caleb Plant actually sided with Wilder. Now, this is what interesting. This is what he said, and I'm going to paraphrase here. He said something along the lines of, well, hey, listen, if I ever killed somebody, I wouldn't feel too bad about it because we both signed a contract, which makes a certain amount of sense. But I don't know. Now I'm starting to think that maybe Caleb Plant's a little bit of a not a narcissist, maybe not a psychopath, but he certainly seems to think a lot about himself and not a lot about others.
Another scared kid trying to talk tough, dude. Because I'm telling you right now, he doesn't like getting punched. He doesn't like getting punched, and he's just self-bravo in there. That's all that is, dude. He's just making himself. Only cowards talk stupid shit like that.
Hey, I talk like
that. If he dies.
I talk like that. Come on, man. Hold on. Somebody was going to say something.
Hey, have you?
Go ahead.
Have you guys seen the interview with Caleb Plant saying that he'll be ready for Canelo in September, and Canelo's ducking him? He's going to whoop his ass. And you guys see that interview?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Who said that?
Sounds a freaking moron.
Plant.
All person he has beat on his resume.
Yeah, Plant ain't busting nobody.
Dude, he got the belt, and they instantly started calling out the biggest payday.
He's just trying to make it relevant, like Jimmy said, to get a payday out of the whole thing. We all know he's not lasting much longer. And once he finally fights a real fighter, whether it's Charlo moving up or Canelo or whatever, that's going to be the end of Caleb.
Why do you think he's so desperate to fight Canelo? Because he knows he's going to get clipped one of these times, even by a journeyman, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, man. That Truax fight was embarrassing because Darrell, finished Truax in 2 rounds. And it took him 12. Like, come on, man. Truax was younger. He was on a better winning streak. He was on a winning streak when he fight Darrell. But you find a guy that's coming off losses and he's old as hell and go 12 rounds and talking about, oh, I did great. Well, I flushed him, of course. It's like Haney fighting Gamboa. Like, okay, you did 12 rounds for the old man. All right, congratulations. But everybody else not.
Yeah, all the talk of the broken hand went away pretty quick. I didn't hear nothing about surgery or a cast. I went to his Instagram page. I didn't see any casts. Did he have one on at any time? Remember, that was the excuse for he couldn't put him away because he hurt his hand. He thought it was broken.
Yeah, that seems to be the excuse of...
He better put out liners.
Yeah, that's the excuse with these fighters, man.
Either one.
The excuse always tends to be I hurt my hand, I hurt something. That's why I couldn't perform as well as you guys expected
my shoulder.
me to.
Yeah, it's like GGG with the flu. Eight times GGG's had the flu in a row whenever he does destroy the opponent.
Yeah, and I remember Joe Calzaghe too. Like when he beat somebody up, he was like, "Oh, I'm in the best shape of my life." Then we had a bad performance. It's like I didn't feel it. I was like, what a coincidence! Every time you fight, your fights aren't impressive. It's you weren't feeling it. I mean, there's something going on here. By the way, shout out to Chet Collins, who just donated the super chat. He says, "There's a man in the sky and he needs money. He's all knowing, but apparently he's short with money. LOL." All right, shout out to you, Chet Collins, for your contribution, man. Really appreciate it. By the way, people. Yeah, by the way, people keep confusing Jet Kyle with L-Dog. Jet Kyle, could you please educate people on the difference between Australians and Kiwis? Because I think people aren't grasping it, man.
No, yeah, two different countries. That's about it. I mean, there's not much more to say.
Oh, wait a minute. You are
Plus,
Australian, right?
What, they're confusing New
Hey?
Zealand? They're
Wait a minute.
confusing people from New Zealand for
But
people
wait,
with
maybe I'm
Australia?
confused. Maybe I'm confused. Jed, you are from Australia, right?
Correct. Yeah.
There
Sydney.
you go. Okay, yeah.
Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, and L-Dog's from New Zealand, so I don't know.
And L-Dogs are Croatian New Zealand as well. L-Dogs are Croatian New Zealand as well. So.
The worst combination possible. Go ahead, Logical.
Everybody take care. Thanks for having me.
All right, Gonzalo.
I'll tell
Thank
you
you.
Thanks, brother. Have a good
one
weekend.
last thing. Yeah, well, one thing you will never beat a woman in is in the talking.
Oh,
I'll just leave you with that. No, gotta go, man. In the talking, you will never win.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Take it easy, Gonzalo. He's talking from experience, by the way. I bet. Yeah, women, they can yap, man. They can yap all night long.
Well, stomping their feet and slapping their hands together.
Yeah.
If we're all boxing fans here, and do we have to like women's boxing to like, or does that make us less of a boxing fan?
No. If you don't like
mean,
WNBA, that doesn't mean you don't like basketball.
Yeah,
Great.
you don't have to like it. But for me, I like.
I'm not into women. Oh, sorry, brother. Go.
Yeah. Just for me, like I like women's boxing. But if no one else likes it, then that's absolutely fine. It's up to them. I know it's not popular because they don't knock each other out often, and it doesn't bring in the casual fans, and they don't like not badmouth each other. They don't like get in each other's faces in press conferences or stuff like that to draw in a lot of audiences. So, but in terms of just skill wise, a lot of them are really, really like high skilled. So, but if no one else likes them, then then each to their own, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to get criticized for it,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's my thing. Sorry, that's my thing, really. I don't like female boxing. All I really ask for is not for it to be forced down my throat and being accused of being this, that, and the other, just because I don't like it. That's my only thing. And ideally, I'd like them on separate cards as well. I've got to be honest.
I'm not sure because I don't mind them being on the card. I don't mind them being on the card. I mean, it's unfair to put them on separate cards because then do you only do cards based on one category? So like a heavyweight card, a middleweight card, a female card. Is that what you do? I don't mind a different variety. Like if you don't want to watch it, then you can just switch off from that time being and then flip back on afterwards. But I don't mind it on the card.
Yeah, all I'll say is this: I can only go by experience. So when I watch boxing with friends, like in a social setting, like let's say we buy a Joshua pay-per-view, every single time a female fight is on, everybody in the room complains, including females. Like the casual fans do not enjoy it, from my experience.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You know what?
Well, I was going to say, guys, listen, female boxing's been around forever, right? But the reason why it's never taken off, it's a change in morals, views. I'm older than you guys, too, so maybe it was pushed on me much different. Like, growing up, women just didn't fight. Like, I grew up in a city where everybody threw hands. An occasional crazy chick from each family maybe now and then. But for the most part, like, all right, an MMA fight, I watched one with that Polish chick. Her head looked like a watermelon by the end of the fight. She got fucking elbowed and shit. As a man, right, that like hurt my soul. Like when I see a woman hurt, like it just, and I can't even control it. It's not like something I can wish away in my head. I get a sick feeling. Like I don't know. It's just the way I'm cut. Like I don't want to see.
You know what it is, Jimmy?
Hey, BDA, can I just say something about Jimmy's point? Then I think that's a great point Jimmy made. It's more like a generational thing. Because he probably grew up with, but see, where I grew up, women fought every day. Like I've seen women stab each other in the face. I've seen women smash bottles over each other's heads. I've seen women like fight more viciously as men. So it could even be a generational thing where younger people are used to seeing women be violent with each other, and people from another era probably aren't used to that. So that could be a great point as well. Where
I just saw a movie.
I did women's prison, I saw those bitches go crazy on each other, but it didn't bother me because they were insane. Most of them are. Sorry,
Yeah. Well, see now, Jimmy, every woman acts like that, Jimmy, in the Western world. That's like you see that on a Saturday night now. In every city in the Western world.
What are you out Western Australia?
Hey, mate.
Where are you located? In the Badlands? You in the far west of Australia?
No. I'm from Sydney, brother. I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, you're
From
okay. You're
Sydney.
right down in the harbour. Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice. What's
Hey,
jumping a
Jimmy, as
funnel
well.
up,
I've seen
baby?
you talk before. Anytime you want to know about the outlaw, the 1%er world in Australia or Europe, just ask me, bro. I know I know a lot about that world as well. I've
It's
heard you
big in
talk about it.
Australia. That culture's been
Huge,
big out
bro.
there for a while.
Huge, lad.
The best part
Massive,
of going to
bro.
Australia is you get to ride kangaroos instead of taxis. I mean, I'm telling you, it's amazing, man. It's not a stereotype at all.
Yeah,
And by the way,
I've never seen a kangaroo in my life. I've never seen.
come
none of that
on,
shit.
get out of here, get out of here. Off the Canvas Boxing made a good point when he said that, look, if you don't like the women's boxing, don't watch it. And let me tell you something. I choose not to watch it. When I see a women's fight on the undercard, I grab my paper, especially a long one with a lot of articles, and I go take a shit. That's what I do. And let me tell you, it's free. It's a free market out there. If you don't want to watch it now, I will understand the counter argument that some people say, well, look, I'm paying for the zone, I'm paying for the pay-per-views, I'm paying for Showtime. I don't want a female boxing fight on the undercard. Which, hey, listen, I had to go through the whole. What was her name again? Christy Martin and the other one, the good-looking one, Mia St. John. I had to go through. Remember Bucho, the De La Hoya fights and all that. We had to see through that.
Yeah, it was. They had Butterbean. You started the night with Mia St. John, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, it was Mia.
Morales was also there, and then Butterbean.
And come to find out, Christy Martin was only fighting because she was abused at home. Her husband was beating her like a rented mule.
Hey, remember that great line from Larry Merchant George Foreman, when he said, "Oh, she's fighting like the raging bull," and then split second later, he goes, "Raging cow." he actually called her a cow in front of millions of people watching the Caution pay-per-view. But
yeah, listen, I'm not against women's boxing. If people are interested in watching that, that's fine. But I don't need to watch it. You're gonna tell me that I'm not a boxing fan just because I'm not interested in that. I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Everyone should just leave it at that. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. Just leave it at that. Let's just move on from that. If you don't like women's boxing, fair enough.
Yeah, it is what it is. No one should be judged on not watching it. If you don't like it, hey, just don't watch it. Shit,
Exactly, that's what I do.
But WNBA don't watch the shit.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't want to watch a bunch of lesbians playing people? Come on, it sells itself. I don't understand what the problem is. But by the way, shout out to Mr. E, who just donated with the super chat, and he says Jethro Tull don't like women's boxing. Jethro Tull, come on. So I tell you, some of the people on this fucking chat room are vicious, man. But anyway, shout out to Mr. E. I had to read that comment. Jethro
Tull. Sitting on the park bench.
Somebody, Pigeon Mike Tyson says, I think that's Phil. He says, women's UFC now, that is good. Boxing is terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Women's MMA used to be a bit better than women's boxing. I can agree with him there.
Well, I say with women's boxing, man, is that it's not a lot that have a lot of skill when it comes to boxing. Like the Clarissa Shields, Christina Hammer, all the people, they had some kind of skill. That's why they were a big name inside women's boxing. We don't have enough women that are out here like the men. The men, we have a full roster, stars, but women is only very far little in between. That's the issue. It's not enough of them out here that's really good fighters.
That's so true. That is so true.
And I gotta say, be honest, there's a part of me that I love to see the women in the ring, especially when they get a G-string and carrying the fucking card, bending over, getting to the ropes. Yee, that's how I like my women. Sexy, not bleeding.
There you
Hope
go.
they don't stop doing that.
No, but I wish them nothing but the best, man. If that's their career, hey, nothing but the best. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Don't force feed us with that shit. We don't want it. Anyways.
Yeah, at least as long as they don't put ring boys in there, like they were trying to do with
Well, they did that in Sweden or Denmark, one of those countries. They had women fighting, and then they had ring card men.
BDA, what's your description of that country? Your description in the King versus King?
Despite the cocked social fabric. Yeah, man. Listen, it is what it is with Sweden.
Cocked social fabric. Dude, that was awesome. That was one of your key zingers.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's a really good one, dude.
What the fuck was that? Jeez, I thought Reckoners was getting stabbed or something. All right, shout out to... All
right. He wants to make an entrance.
Gesundheit.
Shout out to Chet Collins for
his... Hey, I just need somebody say God bless you. Come on.
God bless
You,
you.
you're right, recognise. You're right, brother.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank
You're
you.
right, bro.
Appreciate it.
Gesundheit.
Hey, shout
You
out to
recognize you sneeze like a girl.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, you sneeze like a
Wait,
Japanese
no.
girl.
That was a manly sneeze. Let me replay it. All right, that's how men sneeze.
That's
You guys
right.
watch the show Community?
No. Well,
There
I
was
don't.
a scene where I forget the guy that played the young Lando Calrissian in the Han Solo movie. Last name's Glover. I don't remember his first name. He did the sneeze, and it was kind of wimpy. And Chevy Chase just totally annihilated him. I mean, the scene is hilarious. Just look up Community sneeze and just watch from there. I can't explain the rest of it, but just the different sneezes that Chevy Chase did were hilarious.
Cold Cup Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I sneezed one time too, but I was trying to hold it in because, long story short, I didn't want it to sound too loud, so I held it in. Bad mistake. I pulled a Gigi Allen, if you know what I mean. If you get Matt Chad's reference from earlier, and my pants, yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. By the way, shout out to Chet. Shout out to Chet Collins, who said there's a map. There's a man in the sky. Oh, wait a minute. He's repeating the same fucking super chat. Hold on. I got to read this. Butcher, do you get it? Oh, no, okay.
Chad Collins, thank you for your contribution. Yeah. What is he saying?
I will watch Foxy Boxing, but that's it. I think Foxy Boxing, that was like an 80s thing, or with the women, topless women, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Foxy Boxing.
Big gloves. They were blown up. They were actually blown up gloves, like a fucking like a floaty.
Why not?
Oh my god.
Well, listen, fellas.
But yeah, big up you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just before I head off. Yeah, just before I head off here, I might just drop a little bombshell. I believe Billy Joe Saunders will beat Canelo Alvarez.
Hey! What you want to do a bet, man? I got 200 on Canelo. Come on, let's do that.
No, I don't bet, man.
Boy. You got faith in your boy.
He ain't getting a decision over Canelo. He ain't getting no decision, bro.
Beating Billy Joe's ass.
Bro.
There's no way he loses a decision, though. There's no way Canelo can lose a decision. That's
even if he loses the fight, he's not losing.
I think this is this is going to be a decision.
What, you think he's going to stop
Can I say
Canelo?
one thing?
No,
Can I
I
say
think
one thing?
it's gonna be a decision. I
Sergio
think it's gonna go to-
Kovalev.
No, he won't get a decision. He won't get a decision over Canelo.
That's very interesting because I think the only person that could beat Canelo's style of boxing is somebody who's a slick boxer. And the only person I can point my finger at, because he's got best chances, is probably Billy Joe Saunders.
Nah, Saunders ain't got the stamina, bro.
No one beats Canelo, bro. Only person who got a chance that I see coming up is David Benavidez. That's it. No one else.
Listen, I'm just saying, fucking. I think it's going to be a Sergey Kovalev 2.0. Same type of thing, paw and jab, sticking them out, trying to fucking run, keep real estate. The thing is, people don't realize how hard it is to hit Canelo in the body because of the way he moves, and he makes you pay. If you fucking extend a punch on him, he makes you pay. If you throw that right hand, when Saunders throws that right hand, he's going to go to Saunders' fucking soft pink belly, and he's going to fucking, by the 7th round, I'm telling you, he's going to catch him, he's going to put him away.
You mean his left hand, he's southpaw, you mean his left hand. You mean his left hand, he's southpaw, so he's probably going to be his left hand.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, the southpaw even better then. Yeah, he's gonna fight. He'll make him pay. Either way, he's gonna stop him. Saunders will look good in the beginning. You're gonna see him just fucking Canelo's head. You'll see him doing his count. He'll be fucking timing him, working his space, working his heel. But then he'll spend a round staring at Saunders' feet. He'll fucking figure him out, study him a bit, then fucking tender him, and then bang him out. 7th or 8th round.
Once the 4th round comes, he's gonna get serious on that Billy Joe's ass. None of that play footy shit. He's gonna get him.
All right, well, listen, we're going to end this conversation before Recognize has a heart attack because he doesn't want anything to do with Canelo. So, listen, we're going to move on.
Big up you guys as well. Big up BDA Boxing.
Thank you.
What was that? What
say a lot, brother.
What did you just say about me?
No, I didn't say. No, it was because Jimmy said something about you being gay or something, and I said we got to go before we get into trouble.
Whoa.
I'm sorry about that, Recognize.
No, I said because we were talking about Canelo, and I said I know you don't want to hear anything about Canelo, so I said I might as well end this episode before things get out of hand.
All right?
No, hold on. Anyway, listen, fellas, thank you for joining us,
Are we
everybody.
ending the show, or do we have another?
No, we're ending the show.
Because Okay. All
Well,
right.
keep that in mind. By the way, keep what you got in mind there, Jay, for the next episode. Don't forget it. We'll bring it up in the next episode. Oh,
Trust
Butcher,
me,
you
I
wanna?
won't.
Okay, yeah, Butcher, you wanna? Are you still on for Sunday, or you want me to announce it?
Yes, Kumite show on Sunday, 1v1 debates. It will be happening on Sunday, so stay tuned for that.
But get somebody though. Let's get somebody to on paper, because if we just show up and who wants to debate somebody? It's like
Well, I gotta talk to Stu. We gotta get that main event going. Stu versus Kevin from Chicago.
Okay.
So
What will the
we'll try to make that.
Well, listen, the way this works is this. If you know somebody that you want to debate on a specific topic, tell that person, look, there's a neutral platform on a neutral episode we can do it on. It's called a Kumite. Just jump in and you guys can have it. If I remember correctly, there's Kumite and then there's Bloodsport, right? Which is no moderator, or how does it work?
No, we're just doing the Kumite. It's like
Okay.
you got 10 minutes and you debate.
I like that blood sport thing, man. I know
The
a
thing
couple
is, if
of
people don't like each other, it ends
I
up
know
being
a couple
just
of
insults.
YouTubers. I know a couple of YouTubers that would die in that. What about you guys?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there would be a couple. I mean, that's the whole point of Kumite. You can't hide. If you get cornered, you get cornered. No, you can't wiggle your way out of it. Or maybe you can. I don't know. Depends on your skills. So if anybody out there knows anybody that they want to debate, they had some bad blood. And Jimmy, you said it can end badly. I'm hoping it ends badly. That's even better entertainment, man. So why not? People calling each other motherfuckers and all that. Let's make it happen. So listen, anyway, everybody in the StreamYard, thank you for joining us. Everybody,
Thanks for having us on. Peace, brothers.
Salute,
Peace,
everybody.
lads.
Salute
All right, thanks for
everybody.
letting me join, man. I'll definitely do it again.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Shout out to everybody on the
Great
Discord.
call.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Everybody on the Discord, I'm talking about Recognize, Jimmy, Jay.
Hit the like.
Hit the like. Gonzalo was here earlier as well.
I hit the like. Already.
Hit the fucking like.
I always hit the likes.
Want to give a shout out to everybody that joined us on the StreamYard. I know Mr. Duck was here. Mr. Machad with the energy pumping us up for the next few fights. Everybody on StreamYard. Everybody who donated with the super chat as well. Talking about Texas. Okay, hold on. Rodnell, Jaguar, Jason Bourne, 1 Foot Out the Door, Texas Bulldog, Pete. That's Uncle Pete. Chet Collins and Mr. E. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room as well. Let's give a little shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, before you go, you can still hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already, man. Go ahead and do that. Really helps us out. Shout out to 1 Foot Out the Door, the Fight Scout, SSB28, Pigeon Mike, Jack Napier, Official Scorecard. Check out Official Scorecard's channel. Apology Man, Pigeon Mike Tyson, Brown Gun 1, BOKS, Jock Odd Sock, Vince Vegas, and many more people. Thank you guys for joining us. Catch you in the
Thank
next
you
one.
for my fans, all right? I want to say thank you to my fans out there.
Good night, everybody.
Take it easy. The
Good
Recognize
night, Jimmy.
Fight
Good night,
Club.
BDA. Thanks for having me.
No problem,
Recognize
Jay.
I'm your biggest fan. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy, fellas. Thank you for joining us.
I want to get online. I need BDA boxing.